Chapter 3369. Thanks for the reminder. Wang Xian cupped his fists at the two experts from the Thunder Light Race who were guarding the array. With a swift move, he flew forward. Rumble. Crackle. Crackle. After flying for less than half an hour, thunder rumbled in front of him. The thundercloud field was filled with black and purple clouds. Thunder and lightning often rained down from below. The so-called thunder and lightning rain meant that the rainwater contained the power of thunder. Wang Xian shuttled through the clouds. From time to time, electric arcs would land on him and grind his body. A little deeper. Swoosh. Wang Xian murmured. In the next moment, a part of the thunder wings of the unbeginning sacred wings appeared behind him. At the position of his thunder wings, the shadow of a thunder dragon appeared. As it flapped, it looked like a divine dragon was galloping. Indistinctly, he could see the shadow of a tempest bird on the lightning feathers. Wang Xian continued to fly forward. Strong senses were felt from the lightning wings. He could sense which direction had the strongest lightning power. Following this sense, Wang Xian continued flying forward. Half a month later, he came to the center of a purple thundercloud. I can sense a strong force of thunder coming from here. This force of thunder is very gentle and should be helpful for cultivation. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he came to the purple thundercloud. The thunder wings had a strong sense of thunder. He could sense the gentle force of thunder, which should be the existence of a treasure. This way. I found it. After flying for an hour, Wang Xian saw a fruit in the void ahead. This should be the thunder void fruit. Wang Xian walked over, plucked it, and murmured. The thunder void fruit was a fruit that grew in the cracks of the void. The conditions for the formation of such a fruit were extremely harsh. It was a rare treasure in the thundercloud region. In the sky above the chaotic continent, the void was much more stable than other places in the universe. Take this place for example. Unless Wang Xian unleashed all his strength, he could not open the cracks of the void. In this place, it was impossible to teleport and hurry on with one's journey. TSK, the energy in the thunder void fruit is really huge. I can cultivate here for a period of time. Wang Xian did not go deeper. This position was good enough for him. He did not rely on the thunder wings to search for treasures. The probability was too low, and it was a waste of time. After putting the thunder void fruit into his mouth, he sat under the lightning and began his cultivation. Bolts of lightning landed on his body, quickly transforming into energy within his body. Relying on this method of cultivation, Wang Xian's strength improved rapidly. Buzz. As the days passed, Wang Xian had been cultivating in the lightning for more than 2 months. However, on this day, a terrifying figure suddenly attacked Wang Xian, who was sitting cross-legged and cultivating. It had a long horn and a snake-like body. The thunder horn snake was a desolate beast that specialized in sneak attacks. It lived in the thunder clouds and hunted. It had been staring at Wang Xian for 2 days. Seeing that Wang Xian was motionless, it launched an attack at this moment. The lightning horn snake with the attack power of a universe venerable rank 6 had terrifying and fast attacks. It hid in a thunderbolt above Wang Xian and attacked him. Courting death. Wang Xian sensed the changes in the lightning in the sky. He opened his eyes and looked over. His eyes were glistening. Let's try out the void tracking ability. He sat there cross-legged, and a lightning sword shot out from the wings on his back. Bam! The lightning horn of the thunder horn snake collided with the lightning sword, giving off a crisp sound. SSS. Seeing that its attack had failed, the thunder horn snake stuck out its tongue. Without any hesitation, it fled into the distance with lightning flickering on its body. Crackle! At this time, bolts of lightning landed on the thunder horn snake. Wang Xian waved his arms, and the thunder dragon claws clawed at it. These thunder dragon claws seemed to be equipped with navigation systems. No matter how the thunder horn snake dodged, they continued to pursue it. SSS. The eyes of the thunder horn snake were filled with anger. It swept its tail, and bolts of purple lightning struck at the dragon claws. Crackle! The collision between the lightning was heard. Wang Xian waved his palm, and a lightning dragon gradually condensed and chased after the thunder horn snake. SSS. The thunder-horned snake was horrified at this moment. It immediately fled into the distance while the lightning dragon chased after it. Buzz buzz. Soon, the thunder-horned snake disappeared and fled back to its nest after putting some distance between it and the snake. However, the lightning dragon was still chasing after it, as though it wanted to kill its way to the nest of the thunder-horned snake. Wang Xian looked over and his eyes were glistening. He could sense that the lightning dragon that he had released had been flying for more than 10 minutes. Eventually, it was attacked by other lightning in the thunderclouds and disappeared completely. It's really searching through the void. As long as the other party hasn't cleared the power of lightning left in its body, my attack will be able to chase after the other party until the energy is depleted. Wang Xian revealed a smile. In this way, he could chase to the location of the other party's holy kingdom. After a simple test, he closed his eyes and continued his cultivation. Third senior sister, this thundercloud vulture is too hard to catch. We finally found one, but it escaped. A female disciple of the Thunderhorn tribe, who was not far away, commented unhappily. The thundercloud vulture is known for its speed, and it is rare. It is extremely difficult to catch it. There are only 100 thundercloud vultures in the entire Thunderhorn tribe. A middle-aged woman shook her head with a smile. Yeah, junior sister Zhangya. It is too difficult to get a thundercloud vulture. I think you should consider other war pets. The dozen or so disciples beside him also suggested. The potential of other war pets is too low. Some of them are ugly. Who would want such a war pet? Lei Zhangyun shook her head with a bitter face. Then we have no choice. Unless we encounter a thundercloud vulture with rank 1 or 2 Supremacy Realm combat strength, we will have a chance to catch it. Otherwise, it will be hard to catch the slightly stronger ones. Moreover, it will be hard to tame it after we catch it. The woman who was addressed as third senior sister shook her head. All right then. I wonder how Wang Xian managed to catch a thundercloud vulture. His strength is the same as his thundercloud vulture. Lei Zhangyun murmured with a tinge of unwillingness on her face. Upon hearing her words, third senior sister suddenly exclaimed in surprise. She looked ahead and exclaimed, There is someone ahead. Huh, it's senior brother Wang Xian? What a coincidence. A middle-aged man looked over with a surprised look on his face. Chapter 3370. It's true. Senior brother Wang Xian. Within the thundercloud, Lei Zhangyun and the rest looked at Wang Xian and greeted him with smiles. Wang Xian had already sensed their arrival. He stood up and looked at them. Senior brother Wang Xian, are you cultivating here alone? A middle-aged man asked Wang Xian. There might not be many people in the Thunder Ray tribe who knew Wang Xian. However, many outstanding disciples knew him. The group of disciples who had invited Wang Xian previously were all rather famous in the Thunder Ray race. Yes, I'm cultivating here. Wang Xian nodded his head. He looked across them and asked, Are you guys training? Yes, I'm roaming around with third senior sister and the rest to see if we can catch some wild beasts and find some treasures. The middle-aged man nodded his head. Senior brother Wang Xian, you have to be careful if you're alone. It's very dangerous here. I'll take note. Wang Xian nodded his head. Senior brother Wang Xian. At this moment, Lei Zhangyun rolled her eyes. Suddenly, she shouted and flew towards Wang Xian. Huh. The group of disciples from the Thunder Ray race was shocked when they saw her. What's the matter? Wang Xian asked with a smile when he saw Lei Zhangyun rolling her eyes. He had a pretty good impression of the disciples from the Thunder Ray race. Senior brother Wang Xian. I do have a question. How did you catch that thundercloud vulture? Lei Zhangyun looked at Wang Xian and asked with a chuckle. How did I catch it? Is that how I caught it? Wang Xian replied with a smile. This thundercloud vulture is so fast. How can I catch it? Lei Zhangyun was speechless. I have an idea. Wang Xian looked at her and said, You have an idea? Lei Zhangyun's eyes lit up and flickered with radiance. Why don't senior brother Wang Xian accompany us to capture the wild beasts? If we succeed, I'll give you some treasures for your cultivation. What do you think? Wang Xian was slightly taken aback when he heard her. He pondered for a moment and nodded his head when he saw her expectant expression. Sure. He agreed. Hee hee, that's great. Haha, third senior sister, let's go. I've invited senior brother Wang Xian. Let's continue to capture thundercloud vultures. With senior brother Wang Xian and you around, in addition to the thundercloud vulture in senior brother Wang Xian's hands, our chances of success are high, Lei Zhengyun said excitedly. This, third senior sister smiled and shook her head. Her gaze fell on Wang Xian. Welcome to our team, junior brother Wang Xian. No need. I came out this time to see if I can get some treasures. Wang Xian shook his head. After 2 months of training, his current lightning attribute strength was comparable to a level 7 universe venerable. Next, he would follow them around and see if he could find any treasures. All right. With the addition of senior and junior brother Wang Xian, our chances of capturing some wild beasts will increase significantly. Third senior sister said, since senior brother Wang Xian is joining us, let's head deeper into the Thundernet? What do you think? A middle-aged man suggested with a smile. Lightning Net is fine too. There are more desolate beasts active there. Let's go. Third senior sister pondered for a moment before nodding her head. Let's go. Senior brother Wang Xian. Summon your thundercloud vulture. Lei Zhengyun nodded his head and said to Wang Xian. Chirp chirp. Wang Xian smiled and waved his arm. The thundercloud vulture appeared in front of him. I'm so envious. When can I have a thundercloud vulture as my own? As Lei Zhengyun spoke, his expression was filled with envy. The surrounding disciples were also envious. The potential of the thundercloud vulture was similar to the thunder ray race. If it was fed well, its strength would be similar to theirs. It was equivalent to having a strong comrade. Let's go. The group of them smiled and flew straight ahead. Lei Zhengyun and the group were clearly familiar with the situation here. Wang Xian followed them and looked around. The weakest among them was at least a level 3 universe venerable. The strongest was third senior sister, who had the strength of a level 7 universe venerable. They flew for a full 2 days before they reached the Thundernet that they mentioned. Thundernet was what the Thunder Ray Race called it. The entire thundercloud, as well as the area below, was filled with dense thunderbolts. These thunderbolts intertwined and formed a world of thunderbolts. There were strong and weak thunderbolts. The strong ones could match the attack of a universe venerable. Everyone, be careful. We will split up and move forward in pairs. Once we discover anything, inform us immediately. The third senior sister glanced at the crowd and instructed, in that case, I'll go with senior brother Wang Xian. He's strong and has a war pet, Lei Zhengyun said immediately. Sure. Third senior sister nodded her head. The other dozen people also formed groups of 2. The stronger ones would carry the weaker ones. Let's go this way. Lei Zhengyun moved her palm and a thunderbolt needle appeared in front of her. She looked at Wang Xian and said, Wang Xian nodded his head. He looked at the needle in front of her and asked curiously, what kind of treasure is this needle? This is called a lightning compass. It can sense experts in the surrounding thunderbolts. If there are wild beasts, it can also detect them. It's a very practical treasure. When our disciples come out, we can apply for it from our race. Lei Zhengyun introduced to Wang Xian. Oh, Wang Xian nodded his head. Let's go. Our thunder light race is still very powerful. We even have innate spiritual treasures. Lei Zhengyun said proudly. Innate spiritual treasure? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and followed her as they flew forward. The lightning compass could help the disciples of the thunder light race avoid danger. However, there weren't many of such treasures in the thunder light race. Wang Xian followed beside Lei Zhengyun and flew forward while scanning the surroundings. Days passed. Soon, half a month had passed and they hadn't encountered a single wild beast. The entire area covered by the thunderclouds was too vast. Even if Wang Xian unleashed his full strength, he would still need more than 100 years to fly from one side to the other. Brothers, we found a wild beast over here. Soon, a voice sounded in the minds of Wang Xian and the rest. Huh. Wang Xian was taken aback and immediately looked to the right. We found it. I wonder if it's the thundercloud vulture. Senior brother Wang Xian. We'll be counting on you later. Lei Zhengyun's face was full of excitement as he spoke. He immediately flew to the right. Wang Xian made a move and flew over. On the right, 2 middle-aged men found a wild beast. The rest of the disciples also rushed over quickly. In front, there are two three-tailed thunder foxes. Their strength should be around level 4 universe supremacy. Wang Xian and the rest rushed over. A middle-aged man pointed to the front and said, Chapter 3371. Three-tailed thunder fox was considered a common wild beast in the thundercloud region. In terms of talent, it was weaker than the thundercloud vulture. However, a three-tailed thunder fox with the combat strength of a rank for Universe Venerable was still a decent war pet. It's still the same as before. Surround them and constantly attack them to prevent them from escaping back to their homeland. Third senior sister instructed them. Yes, it was clearly not their first time hunting wild beasts, as they nodded their heads solemnly. Compared to them, the two three-tailed thunder foxes at the rank 4 Universe Venerable realm had a huge gap in strength. However, if they were to barge in recklessly, the two three-tailed thunder foxes would escape instantly. Even if third senior sister were to attack directly, she would not be 100% confident. In a world where the strong preyed on the weak in the chaotic continent, every wild beast that could grow to this stage possessed strong vigilance. Otherwise, they would have died a long time ago. The group stared at the two 10-meter-long thunder foxes and dispersed to their surroundings, preparing to surround them. Wang Xian followed beside Lei Zhengyun and flew to the left. Soon, they formed an encirclement. Do it! At this time, third senior sister's voice rang in everyone's mind. They focused their attention on the two three-tailed thunder foxes and charged over. Crackle! When they were halfway there, the sound of thunder came from the surroundings. The sound of thunder was unusually ear-piercing. Gigi! In an instant, the two three-tailed thunder foxes scanned their surroundings. Without any hesitation, their figures began to turn illusory. Without any hesitation, they wanted to escape back to their nests. Thunderlock! Wang Xian focused his eyes and struck the two three-tailed thunder foxes with the thunderbolts in his hands. The two thunderbolts were not strong, but their speed was terrifying. They arrived before the two three-tailed thunder foxes. Gigi! The two three-tailed thunder foxes were horrified. Their chance to escape back to their god nation was interrupted. Such fast thunderbolts. At this time, third senior sister's attack arrived. She was shocked when she saw Wang Xian's thunderbolts. Crackle! Soon, the two three-tailed thunder foxes were completely covered by the thunderbolts and were easily captured. The most important thing to capture a wild beast of this level was to interrupt their return to their god nation. Once they were interrupted, they could be easily suppressed. Junior brother Wang Xian's lightning is really fast. After the two three-tailed thunder foxes were captured, third senior sister walked over and said, Not bad. Wang Xian smiled. This time, it's all thanks to junior brother Wang Xian for interrupting the three-tailed lightning fox's attack. He deserves 80% of the credit. Third senior sister said, No problem. The rest of the disciples did not have any objections. Everyone had witnessed what had just happened. They were also shocked by Wang Xian's lightning speed. Wang Xian smiled and wasn't bothered by it. There's something wrong with the lightning compass. There's a desolate beast nearby. At this moment, a middle-aged man exclaimed from the side, There really is one. There's even a desolate beast nearby. Let's go and capture it. Lei Zhengyun said loudly as he looked at the lightning needle in front of him. Collect the two three-tailed lightning foxes. We'll go check it out. Third senior sister immediately instructed. Wang Xian shifted his body and the thunder wings appeared on his back, vibrating slightly. This way. His figure moved and he immediately flew over. The rest of the disciples immediately followed behind him. Over there. Soon, Wang Xian and the rest saw a shadow. It was a desolate beast with wings. Thundercloud vulture. It's the thundercloud vulture. Hurry up and capture it. Lei Zhengyun looked over and his eyes lit up as he transmitted his voice to everyone. Give it a try. Capture it if you can. Third senior sister said to all the disciples. This thundercloud vulture was in flight, unlike the three-tailed lightning fox which was lying in the thunderclouds and surrounded by them. It was impossible for them to surround the thundercloud vulture now. They could only pursue it. Swoosh! Wang Xian stared at the thundercloud vulture. With a wave of his arm, dense thunderbolts struck at the thundercloud vulture. Chirp, chirp. The thundercloud vulture noticed Wang Xian and the rest. It let out a low chirp and launched thunderbolts at them. Swoosh. Capture it. The disciples of the thunder light race flew over immediately. Thunderbolts turned into a lightning net and attacked the thundercloud vulture. Chirp, chirp. The thundercloud vulture sensed their might. It flapped its wings and fled into the distance. This thundercloud vulture has the combat strength of a rank 5 universe venerable. Be careful. The third senior sister looked over and reminded loudly, searching the void. Wang Xian revealed a smile when he sensed the thunderbolts falling on the thundercloud vulture. He stopped and stood there. Thunderbolts condensed into a chain, and he swung it at the void. Senior brother Wang Xian, go after it. Get your war pet to go after it. There's a chance to capture it. At the side, Lei Zhongyun shouted loudly when he saw Wang Xian standing there without giving chase. Swoosh. Wang Xian ignored him and continued to launch attacks at the thundercloud vulture. Subsequently, he stood there and waited quietly. Oh no, it's too fast. The disciples of the thunder light race exclaimed as they chased after the thundercloud vulture. Within the thunderclouds, one's vision would be greatly obstructed. Cultivators with thunder attributes would be greatly enhanced within the thunderclouds. They were already quite a distance away from the thundercloud vulture. Hence, the thundercloud vulture did not linger and fled immediately. Even third senior sister couldn't catch it in an instant. Moreover, this was a thunderstorm region with all sorts of thunderbolts. It was easy to lose track of it. However, while they were chasing after it, they didn't notice that 4 to 5 thunderbolt chains were flying towards the thundercloud vulture at high speed. Phew, stop chasing. We won't be able to catch it if we continue like this. Moreover, we might be in danger. Third senior sister chased after him for 2 minutes before stopping. In this region, it was extremely dangerous to pursue unscrupulously. There might be a chance of catching it if they continued chasing. However, it was risky and unnecessary. It escaped again. The thundercloud vulture is too vigilant. It can detect us before we even get close and escape instantly. Unless we encounter a rank 1 or 2 universe supremacy, we can suppress it with our superior speed. Otherwise, it will be difficult to catch it. The disciples of the thunder light race shook their heads and commented helplessly. In this unique environment, it was easier to hunt other wild beasts. However, it would be troublesome to hunt a wild beast like the thundercloud vulture. The disciples paused in the air and shook their heads. Chirp, chirp, chirp. However, at this moment, a hurried sound was getting closer. This shocked everyone, and they turned around immediately. This is? All of a sudden, they widened their eyes and looked ahead in shock. Chapter 3372. In front of them, the thundercloud vulture that was bound by chains was flying towards them. The thundercloud vulture shrieked in horror. All the disciples of the Thunderlight tribe were dumbfounded. What's going on? What's going on with the thundercloud vulture? Why is it bound by chains? How did it end up here? Everyone glanced at each other and stared at the bound thundercloud vulture. Wang Xian revealed a smile when he saw this scene from behind. It was very easy to destroy or capture an enemy, especially one that was weaker than him. If the thundercloud vulture had escaped back to its own holy kingdom, Wang Xian might have to spend some effort to capture it. However, it didn't. The thunderbolt chain chased after it and bound it. Then, it flew over automatically. Swish. Wang Xian waved his arm and the thunderbolt chain flew over with the thundercloud vulture. He grabbed the chain. This. Lei Zhongyun stared at the thundercloud vulture with his eyes wide open. He was in disbelief. This. Junior brother Wang Xian. What's this? Is this chain a powerful treasure? Third senior sister came to her senses and flew over, pointing at the chains with a shocked expression. No, it's just a Dharma form attack. Wang Xian found an excuse and smiled. I don't want this thundercloud vulture. Whoever wants it can take it away. Wow, senior brother Wang Xian, you're too powerful. How could you capture this thundercloud vulture so easily? Lei Zhongyun reacted, his face filled with shock as he exclaimed. Boo-hoo, I really want this thundercloud vulture. It's a pity that it's too strong and I can't suppress it. Soon, she spoke dejectedly. Dharma form attack. Senior brother Wang Xian's attack is so powerful. You're just standing there, and yet you can bind it. That's unbelievable. Yeah, senior brother Wang Xian's attack is too powerful. No wonder he's a divine dragon. A group of disciples from the Thunder Light tribe gathered around and exclaimed, "This, junior brother Wang Xian, the thundercloud vulture is very precious. You're the only one who obtained it. If you want to sell it, the other senior brothers will give you a satisfactory price." The third senior sister stared at the thundercloud vulture and said, "I don't need it. You guys can have it." Wang Xian shook his head indifferently. He wasn't lacking in cultivation resources. The only thing he lacked was thunder attribute treasures. Of course, he didn't really lack this treasure. He had quite a few treasures on hand, and he could casually sell them for some lightning-type treasures. What he needed more was time to polish the lightning attribute in his body. That won't do. The third senior sister shook her head and looked at the crowd. Her gaze landed on 4 or 5 people. "Among the 5 of you, who wants this thundercloud vulture? Let's go by strength. Senior brother Ing is the strongest, so let's give it to him." A middle-aged man's expression changed as he spoke. "I agree." The other middle-aged men and women also nodded in agreement. "Thank you, junior brothers and sisters." The middle-aged man hesitated for a moment, but he did not refuse and said gratefully, "Hee, senior brother Ing, you should thank senior brother Wang Xian." A middle-aged man smiled and said, "Thank you, senior brother Wang Xian. Thank you." The universe venerable rank 6 junior brother respectfully bowed. "No need." Wang Xian shook his head. "Senior brother Wang Xian, I only have these treasures and cultivation resources with me for now. I'll gather them for you when we get back." He took out some cultivation treasures from his space ring and handed them to Wang Xian. "I'll take this thunderbolt bead. I don't want the rest." Wang Xian casually took a thunderbolt bead and rejected the rest. This time, he didn't really want to join the Thunderlight tribe. It was just for the thunder feather. Since he was misunderstood by the Great Elder and the rest, he could only beat them at their own game. However, Wang Xian would remember this favor and repay it in the future. Helping the disciples of the Thunderlight tribe was nothing to him. Wang Xian really didn't fancy these treasures. How can this do? The middle-aged man was taken aback. "It's all right. Let's continue and see if we can encounter more thundercloud vultures." Wang Xian waved his hand. "Thank you, senior brother Wang Xian. Thank you." The middle-aged man didn't know how to express his gratitude and bowed. "Senior brother Wang Xian is really generous. This thundercloud vulture is worth a lot." "Yeah, senior brother Ing. You owe senior brother Wang Xian a big favor this time. I know. The thundercloud vulture, will repay you in the future." The group of disciples looked at Wang Xian in awe and envy senior brother Ing as they commented, "Let's continue. With junior brother Wang Xian around, we should be able to capture any wild beast we encounter," third senior sister said with a smile. The group nodded their heads and continued their exploration. However, when they looked at Wang Xian, their faces were filled with respect. "Senior brother Wang Xian, can you capture a thundercloud vulture for me? I want one too." Lei Zhengyan followed by Wang Xian sighed and pleaded, "This isn't something that I can capture just because I want it. If I can encounter one, I'll definitely capture it for you." Wang Xian smiled at her and assured her, "You're right." Lei Zhengyun's eyes lit up as she looked at the lightning compass and the surroundings seriously. "I've encountered a group of wild beasts. Haha, brothers, come over quickly." As Wang Xian searched, he trained his thunder attribute and his strength gradually increased. 10 days later, the excited voice of a disciple was heard. "Let's go, senior brother Wang Xian." Lei Zhengyun shouted with a face full of excitement. "All right." Wang Xian nodded his head and immediately flew towards the source of the voice. This is Thunder Horse? As Wang Xian approached, he immediately noticed the group of thunder horses ahead. Thunder horses had a pair of thunder wings and were also a war pet that the disciples of the Thunder Light race coveted. Thunder horses were slightly weaker than thundercloud vultures, but they could also fight 2 ranks higher. In front of them, There were more than 20 thunder horses. They were riding on thunder and looked extremely mystical. Compared to thundercloud vultures, they were more suitable as mounts and looked extremely handsome. At this moment, more than 20 thunder horses were surrounding a purple fruit that was emitting powerful thunder energy. 24 thunder horses. From the aura they are exuding, there are 4 rank 6 universe venerables, and the weakest one is at least a rank 3 universe venerables. Third senior sister flew over and transmitted her voice. They carefully hid in the surroundings to prevent being discovered. We can strike now. Wang Xian nodded his head and said, Leave the 4 rank 6 universe venerables to me and the rest of you guys. Capture as many as you can. There are too many of them, and we can't surround them. Let's strike directly and don't be greedy. Third senior sister instructed with flickering eyes. Yes. The group of disciples answered immediately. Wang Xian chuckled. Thunder dragons emerged from his body one after another. There were 5 thunder dragons with long thunder chains attached to their tails. Strike! Third senior sister shouted softly and immediately charged over to attack. Chapter 3373. Crackle. Within the thundercloud, a dense lightning net surrounded the surroundings. 24 heaven thunder horses guarded a fruit. The disciples of the Thunder Light tribe immediately surrounded them. Wang Xian stood at the back. With a wave of his arm, 5 thunder dragons flew forward. The thunder dragons were fast and not any slower than third senior sister. They split into 5 directions and surrounded the group of heaven thunder horses as they attacked. Behind them, there was a large number of thunder chains. The chains collided with each other, making a clattering sound. The moment the disciples of the Thunder Light tribe charged over, the group of thunder horses noticed them. They stood up and stared at them. Thunderous roars came from the heavenly thunder horse's mouth, and bolts of lightning struck towards them. Thunder Light. Seeing that the group of thunder horses did not escape, third senior sister immediately released her nomological laws and charged towards the thunder horses at the fastest speed. Roar, roar. However, when the group of thunder horses saw third senior sister break through their attacks, the leader of the thunder horses lifted his head and roared, ordering his companions to escape immediately. Roar, roar. The group of thunder horses did not hesitate and escaped immediately. Roar, roar. However, at that moment, the 3 thunder dragons had already arrived behind them. The thunder dragon's tail carried the thunder chains as it attacked them. Roar, roar. The 2 heavenly lightning horses with level 6 venerable battle prowess roared, their wings emitting powerful lightning energy as they charged towards Lei Long Walala. However, their attacks were easily blocked by the thunder dragons in the next instant. Chains continued to attack them. Roar, roar. The 2 thunder horses let out a terrified roar. The surrounding thunder horses saw this and ran forward frantically. Control. At this time, the thunder wings on Wang Xian's back flickered. 5 thunder dragons released streaks of thunder light and attacked all the thunder horses. The thunder light landed on the thunder horses and paralyzed them instantly. The thunder dragon roared, and chains wrapped around the heaven thunder horse. Roar, roar. The heaven thunder horse wanted to escape, but it was completely bound by the thunder chain. The 20 heaven thunder horses were all tied up. When all the disciples saw this, their faces were filled with shock as they stared at the suppressed heaven's thunder horses in disbelief. 24 heaven thunder horses were suppressed just like that? They weren't even close yet. Senior brother Wang Xian's strength is definitely above universe level 6. A middle-aged man opened his mouth and said in shock, "Crash." At this moment, Wang Xian pulled his arm and all the lightning dragons flew back. The heaven thunder horses that were tied up followed suit. All right, you guys suppress it. Wang Xian smiled at the disciples of the lightning race who were still in shock. Wow, senior brother Wang Xian, you're too awesome. To the side, Lei Zhongyun exclaimed with a face full of amazement. Wang Xian, you've made a breakthrough? Third senior sister flew over and stared at him in shock. How old was Wang Xian? To possess such terrifying strength. To be able to suppress a group of heavenly thunder horses with a wave of his hand. His strength was definitely that of a level 7 universe venerable. Yeah, The lightning feathers that the Great Elder gave me have improved my strength. Wang Xian nodded. There was nothing to hide. Gosh, you've made a breakthrough again? Among the disciples of the lightning race, only Big Senior Brother, Second Senior Brother, and Third Senior Sister have level 7 Universe Venerables. Lei Zhangyun stared at Wang Xian in disbelief. Level 7 Universe Venerables could be ranked in the top 4 among the disciples of the lightning race. Is this the talent of a divine dragon? It's unbelievable. A girl murmured. Even the disciples of the peak races aren't that unbelievable, right? Senior Brother Wang Xian is too awesome. He might even become a universe dominator in the future. Senior Brothering exclaimed. Wang Xian, you might not be weaker than me now. When we get back, let's have a spar. If you win, you'll be our third senior brother. Third Senior Sister looked at Wang Xian and said in shock. Wang Xian smiled and didn't mind. You guys can suppress these heaven thunder horses. If Senior Brother Wang Xian doesn't want them, we'll bring them back to the tribe and let the elders handle them. The elders will also remember your contribution, a middle-aged man said. The rest of the group nodded in agreement. Up to you guys, Wang Xian said casually. Hurry up. Haha. With Senior Brother Wang Xian around, we've gained a lot. The disciples said excitedly. Suppress these heaven thunder horses and search for them for a few more months. Then, let's go back. Third Senior Sister said with a smile. Haha. Great. With Senior Brother Wang Xian around, we'll definitely gain more. That's right. Senior Brother Wang Xian is too awesome. The disciples were in a great mood as they discussed. After suppressing the heaven thunder horses, the disciples kept them and continued their search. In the next 2 months, they were unlucky. They only encountered 4 wild beasts, and all of them were easily suppressed by Wang Xian. This made the disciples realize that Senior Brother Wang Xian's speed was even stronger than Third Senior Sister's. There was a high possibility that Senior Brother Wang Xian was stronger than Third Senior Sister. All right, we've gained enough this time. Let's go back. Third Senior Sister said to them after 2 months. All right. Although the disciples were not satisfied, they didn't reject her. After all, it was all thanks to Wang Xian. They didn't want to trouble them for too long. Senior Brother Wang Xian, are you going back too? Lei Zhengyun asked Wang Xian. Yeah, I'm going back. Wang Xian nodded. Over the past 2 months, he had been following them while honing his thunder art. He was about to reach the pinnacle. His strength would soon be comparable to a pinnacle universe venerable. All right, let's go. Third Senior Sister nodded. With a wave of her arm, a thunder mirror appeared beneath her and enlarged. The rest of the disciples flew over immediately. Wang Xian stood on it as well. The journey wasn't short. They had flown a long distance during this period of time. It would take more than 2 months to return to the Thunder Light race. They didn't return to their own holy kingdom immediately. This was because they could try to capture the wild beasts along the way if they encountered them. The disciples were chatting on the Thunder Mirror. The more people there were, the livelier it was. After flying for more than a month, Wang Xian had gotten familiar with them. On this day, Wang Xian sat on the Thunder Mirror and ate the delicacies given to him by the disciples of the Thunder Light race. Around him, the disciples were also drinking and eating. As they were about to reach the territory of the Thunder Light race in a few days, they had let their guard down. Suddenly, Wang Xian's eyes narrowed. Be careful, he shouted softly and immediately stood up. Chapter 3374. Swoosh. The moment Wang Xian issued the warning, he immediately stood up and reminded everyone. All the disciples on the Thunder Mirror were taken aback. Even the Third Senior Sister was shocked as she quickly scanned the surroundings. Crackle! Wang Xian's body shook as streaks of lightning appeared around him. Swish, swish, swish. At this instant, beasts that were 100 meters long and only as thick as a thumb attacked them. There were more than 100 of these desolate beasts. Oh no, it's the thunder nematodes. Everyone, be careful. The Third Senior Sister's expression changed as she shouted. There are 3 rank 7 universe supremacy thunder nematodes. Be careful. Wang Xian scanned the area and reminded them. He moved his palm and his entire arm instantly turned into a dragon claw. A thunder dragon claw swiped at the thunder nematodes. Among them, his attack covered 2 rank 7 universe supremacy thunder nematodes. 3 rank 7 universe supremacy thunder nematodes? All the disciples were shocked when they heard this. If you can't handle it, run back to your holy kingdom immediately. Third senior sister shouted, and the thunder mirror beneath her suddenly shone with a purple light. Streaks of lightning swept across the surroundings. Bam, bam, bam. On Wang Xian's side, the huge dragon claw collided with dozens of thunder nematodes, especially the 2 rank 7 universe supremacy thunder nematodes. When they collided with the dragon claw, dragon scales fell one by one, and half of their bodies were buried inside. "Humph! I can handle it," Wang Xian shouted. With a wave of his palm, a thunder prison appeared in his hand. The lightning prison was not formed by lightning. Instead, it was a Hotian treasure. He had obtained this acquired cardinal treasure after annihilating a group of forces and had never used it. Now it was time to use it. With a wave of his arm, the thunder prison instantly enveloped the 2 thunder nematodes. Post-celestial treasures were extremely beneficial to universe venerables at the rank 7 level. In addition, more than a month had passed and Wang Xian's thunder technique had reached its peak. One-on-one, he could easily kill a rank 7 universe supremacy thunder nematode. With the help of the thunder prison, the 2 rank 7 universe supremacy thunder nematodes immediately sensed danger. They flickered and tried to escape. Too late. Wang Xian clenched his dragon claws and thunderbolts exploded. The 2 lightning nematodes shuddered. Buzz. The thunder prison flew over and directly imprisoned the 2 thunder nematodes inside. Waves of dense thunder power constantly attacked them. Thunder chain. With a soft shout, bolts of lightning turned into chains and swept towards the surrounding thunder nematodes. The powerful lightning instantly caught dozens of thunder nematodes. Zzz. At the side, the rest of the thunder nematodes sensed the situation over at Wang Xian's side. Their eyes were filled with horror as they fled into the distance. True dragon body, 8 dragon clones. Wang Xian looked over. With a shake of his body, he transformed into a lightning dragon. 8 clones of the thunder dragon flew out of his body and attacked the group of thunder nematodes. Stay here, heavenly lightning earth net. When third senior sister saw Wang Xian transforming into a divine dragon, her body shook and she shouted. The thunder mirror floated above her head, and bolts of lightning struck the thunder nematode with the combat strength of a level 7 universe venerable. Zzz. The eyes of that thunder nematode were filled with horror. Towering dragon horn. Wang Xian bellowed. The power of thunder gathered on the dragon horn and attacked the group of thunder nematodes. Crackle. In an instant, the entire area was engulfed in lightning, and the thunder nematodes were writhing in pain in the void. Heske. Wang Xian snorted coldly. Trying to escape after attacking them here? Wishful thinking. Even if he didn't explode his other attributes, he could still keep all these thunder nematodes. Is this the thunder dragon? He's too strong. Lei Zhangyun looked at Wang Xian's divine dragon body with shock written all over his face. I should be able to call him senior brother Wang Xian now. The third senior sister glanced over. Her eyes filled with awe. An acquired cardinal treasure had trapped 2 thunder nematodes with the combat strength of a level 7 universe venerable, and the mighty divine dragon body had defeated hundreds of thunder nematodes. Wang Xian's strength wasn't something she could compare with. Perhaps even big senior brother isn't a match for him. Third senior sister murmured, capture all these thunder nematodes. At this moment, they heard Wang Xian's voice and immediately captured all the thunder nematodes. Thunder nematodes are a very powerful weapon type war pet. Those 3 thunder nematodes with the combat strength of a level 7 universe venerable are no less than an acquired cardinal treasure to a level 7 universe venerable. A middle-aged man roared excitedly. When the third senior sister heard this, her eyes lit up and she revealed an excited expression. She immediately made a move to suppress the lightning nematodes. Thunder nematodes were a very special type of wild beast. They were very thin, only the size of a thumb, and their length could be shortened or lengthened. They had a strong penetrative ability and could be used as a powerful weapon. To a level 7 universe venerable, they were comparable to an ordinary acquired cardinal treasure. Of course, in reality, they were still far from being comparable to an acquired cardinal treasure. However, a thunder nematode of the same level could be used as a weapon to fight two at once. Wang, seeing that all the thunder nematodes had been captured, Wang Xian smiled and transformed into his human form. He came to the thunder dungeon and suppressed the two thunder nematodes inside. He also captured the thunder nematodes of other levels in his hands. Senior brother Wang Xian, over 100 thunder nematodes. This is a great harvest. Haha, we're rich. Senior brother Wang Xian, you're awesome. How did you improve your strength? Isn't this too fast? The group of disciples came to Wang Xian with thunder nematodes in their hands and exclaimed excitedly, "Here you go. Keep it." Wang Xian smiled at them and passed the thunder nematodes to third senior sister and the rest. Senior brother Wang Xian, I should address you respectfully as senior brother now. Third senior sister looked at the group of thunder nematodes and said in admiration. Wang Xian didn't mind. He gestured to them again and said, "Each of you keep one that you can use. Leave the rest to the clan." Senior brother Wang Xian, aren't you going to keep one? These thunder nematodes are of great use to us. Third senior sister said to him, I don't need them. You guys can keep them. Wang Xian shook his head. That's great. Thunder nematodes. Thank you, senior brother Wang Xian. Thank you, senior brother Wang Xian. The group of disciples cheered excitedly. They had made a killing this time. All right, let's go. Wang Xian waved his hand and said with a smile. Chapter 3375. Senior brother Wang Xian, are you coming with us to see the elders? The elders will definitely reward you handsomely for capturing so many dire beasts this time. Within the territory of the Thunder Light tribe, third senior sister and the other disciples asked Wang Xian after he and the group dealt with the thunder nematodes. You guys go ahead. I won't be going. I'm going back to rest. Wang Xian shook his head and replied to them. All right then. We will report everything to the elders. Third senior sister and the rest nodded their heads and waved at him. Wang Xian replied before flying back to his palace. Phew. This time, I should be able to go against pinnacle supremacies after I cultivate the law of lightning to its peak. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he returned to his palace. With a flick of his palm, the silvery white metal landed in his hand. A majestic aura emanated from his body. His surroundings were gradually shrouded by 9-colored radiance. 5 elements, wind, thunder, and yin-yang. When all 9 elements were activated, he could unleash terrifying strength. The offensive power of the 5 elements, the speed of wind and thunder, and the defense of light and darkness. The 9 elements faintly supported each other, causing his strength to improve tremendously. The universe is made up of 9 elements. In that case, can I fuse the 9 elements and transform them into one supreme element? Wang Xian mumbled to himself as his eyes sparkled. He tried it and quickly frowned. The 5 elements could fuse together. Wind, thunder, and yin-yang could fuse together. However, it was extremely difficult to fuse all of them together. Elder, these dire beasts were basically captured by senior brother Wang Xian. He said he doesn't need them. At the same time, third senior sister and the rest of the group had released all the dire beasts in the main hall of the Thunder Light tribe and reported to the 7th elder in the merit shop. Most of them were captured by Wang Xian's disciples, even the thunder nematodes with level 7 supremacies. The 7th elder stood in the main hall and looked at the group of dire beasts in shock. Although these dire beasts weren't much to the Thunder Light tribe, they were invaluable to some disciples. They were considered significant resources. Yes, 7th elder. Now that senior brother Wang Xian has reached level 7 supremacy, he's much stronger than me. His power of lightning is extremely powerful. Third senior sister replied. He has already reached the universe venerable level 7? So fast? The 7th elder's face revealed a shocked expression. Yes, elder. Senior brother Wang Xian is incredible. The disciples at the side immediately responded. This talent is really... Elder 7 clicked his tongue. He looked at the wild beasts in front of him and said after a moment of hesitation, "Keep the wild beasts that you can use as your battle pets. I will report this to the chief elder and the others." "It's seventh elder," the group of disciples replied happily. Buzz buzz. Before long, 3 figures appeared in the Merit Point store. The seventh elder and the others were slightly stunned. They quickly bowed and said, "Greetings, clan leader. Greetings, protector." Disciple pays respect to elder, protector, and grand elder. Third senior sister and the others also bowed respectfully. "Get up." Where is Wang Xian's disciple? The leader of the Thunder Light tribe, who had long purple hair, sat in the middle of the group and glanced at them. "Clan leader, Wang Xian's disciple is currently at his residence." The seventh elder reported immediately. "Did you guys see Wang Xian's disciple in action?" The leader of the Thunder Light tribe nodded his head plainly and asked the group of disciples. Reporting to clan leader, "We saw senior brother Wang Xian transforming into a thunder dragon in battle. He was incredible." The group of disciples replied immediately. The leader of the Thunder Light tribe's eyes flickered as he looked at the group of wild beasts. Seventh elder, "Take out a thunder core grass from the treasure vault as a reward for Wang Xian's disciple. Get Zhengyun, and some female disciples to send it over." The leader of the Thunder Light tribe said plainly. His words caused the disciples to be slightly stunned. "Yes." The seventh elder opened his mouth and responded immediately with shock in his eyes. The thunder core grass was a treasure of the Thunder Light tribe. It was nurtured in the paradise above the main hall. Every billion years, it would be tempered by thunder and lightning to grow 10 of them. Hence, it was extremely precious in the Thunder Light tribe. As for getting the female disciples to send it over, they were clear in their hearts. The leader was trying to seduce Wang Xian's disciple with his beauty. The disciples of the Thunder Light tribe were a little different from humans. They had a pair of lightning wings and sharp noses. However, this didn't mean that there weren't any beauties in the Thunder Light tribe. In fact, the beauties of the Thunder Light tribe were also very beautiful. The sharp noses of the males of the Thunder Light tribe were black, but the noses of the females were purple. There was a different kind of beauty to them. Lei Zhangyun was considered a beauty in the Thunder Light tribe. Of course, she wasn't the most beautiful. In that case, let Yunzi and the rest go over as well. Clan leader, are you going over to take a look at that disciple? The great elder asked with a smile. I won't see him for now. Let our disciples build a good relationship with him. If he can become the big senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe, we'll meet again. The leader of the Thunder Light tribe pondered for a moment before replying with a smile. All right. The great elder nodded his head and looked at the group of disciples in front. Get Yunzi and the other beautiful female disciples over. In a while, bring them to the residence of Wang Xian's disciple and give him the thunder core grass. Yes, great elder. The group of disciples exchanged looks and nodded their heads. Hee. The leader of the Thunder Light tribe and the rest smiled and left immediately. What the leader and the rest mean is that they want some of the female disciples of our tribe to get together with senior brother Wang Xian. A middle-aged disciple couldn't help but comment when he saw the leader and the rest leaving. Senior brother Wang Xian is a divine dragon and has such great potential. Naturally, the leader wants to keep senior brother Wang Xian here forever. Junior sister Zhengyun, you can grab hold of this opportunity. A middle-aged disciple said to Lei Zhangyun with flickering eyes. Senior brother Wang Xian is really handsome and powerful. If senior brother Wang Xian really likes me, I'll definitely not reject him. It's a pity that senior brother Wang Xian is too outstanding. I'm afraid he won't fancy me. Lei Zhangyun blushed slightly. However, she spoke casually without any hesitation. I think junior sister Yunzi is very confident. Junior sister Yunzi is the goddess among the disciples. That's really possible. Let's go and get junior sister Yunzi over. If any of them can get together with senior brother Wang Xian, I reckon the leader will reward them handsomely. Don't talk about rewards. Senior brother Wang Xian is so outstanding and handsome. I reckon there won't be any junior sister who won't like him. The group of disciples discussed. Chapter 3376. Junior Sister Yunzi. Junior Sister Yunzi. On the mountain peak where the disciples of the lightning race lived, third senior sister, no, fourth senior sister, and the rest had arrived at the palace where Lei Ziyun was staying. Her? Senior sisters, senior brothers, junior brothers, what's the matter? Lei Ziyun came out of her palace, looked at them in shock, and greeted them immediately. At this moment, apart from fourth senior sister and a dozen others, there were 40 to 50 female disciples of the lightning race. All of them were single and beautiful disciples. Junior sister Yunzi, it's an order from the clan head and elders. We're here to inform you. Fourth senior sister said to her with a smile. Her? Why are you summoning me? Lei Yunzi asked with a puzzled look. To deliver the thunder core grass to senior brother Wang Xian as a reward? Fourth senior sister answered. Thunder core grass? Lei Yunzi was shocked. This? Why do you want us to deliver it? Hee, junior sister, can't you tell? The chief and the rest want us to get in touch with senior brother Wang Xian and see who can match his feelings. A female disciple said with a smile. This? Lei Yunzi was taken aback. She naturally knew about senior brother Wang Xian, who had just joined the lightning race. She also knew that he was a divine dragon disciple of the ancestral dragon bloodline. However, she was shocked that the chief had personally acted as a go-between. This made her a little. All right, I have to obey the chief's order. Lei Yunzi smiled and walked over. Hee, let's go. I haven't met senior brother Wang Xian yet. I'll have to take a good look later. Fourth senior sister, I heard that senior brother Wang Xian is stronger than you. Wow, that's incredible. Senior brother Wang Xian is so much younger than us. The group of female disciples discussed with glowing eyes. Most of them had never seen Wang Xian before. Therefore, they were curious and their eyes were beaming. Her? What are those girls doing there? I don't know. Senior sister Lei Yunzi is there too. She's the goddess of our disciples. I heard that even big senior brother is interested in her. I wonder if it's true. In the surroundings, some of the disciples whispered to each other when they saw the beautiful girls. Senior brother Wang Xian, my junior brothers and sisters are here to disturb you. The group arrived before Wang Xian's palace and spoke. In the palace, Wang Xian was researching on how to integrate the 9 elements. When he heard the voice outside, he raised an eyebrow and said, Please come in. Let's go. Let's see what senior brother Wang Xian looks like. Hee, senior brother Wang Xian should be a baby dragon, right? The group of girls immediately flew into the palace, their eyes filled with excitement. When Wang Xian came to the guest hall, his face darkened when he heard the faint voices coming from the front. A fragrance wafted over. He looked over and saw that most of them were female disciples. This caused him to be slightly stunned. Wow, senior brother Wang Xian looks so handsome. His bearing is extraordinary. A female disciple commented with a smile. The rest of the female disciples were also sizing him up. Senior brother Wang Xian, sorry to disturb you. We are here to give you a treasure in the name of the clan leader and the elders. This is a reward from the clan. The fourth sister smiled and looked at Lei Yunzi beside her. Lei Yunzi looked at her and then at Wang Xian. She walked forward and handed it over. Reward? Wang Xian looked at the treasure box in Lei Yunzi's hand with curiosity in his eyes. He took it and opened it to take a look. When he saw the thunder core grass inside, his eyes revealed a trace of surprise. Just from the lightning energy on it, he could tell that it was very precious. Sorry to trouble all of you to send it over, Wang Xian said with a smile. You're welcome, senior brother Wang Xian. Senior brother, can we ask you a question? A female disciple asked with a smile. Sure. Wang Xian looked at her and nodded. Senior brother Wang Xian, how did you cultivate? How did you improve so quickly? She immediately asked. This, I improved just by cultivating. Wang Xian replied. He couldn't possibly say that he had the system, right? That's too much of a blow. Senior brother Wang Xian, can you teach us some thunder techniques in the future? The female disciple continued to ask. No problem. You can ask me if you have any questions. Wang Xian nodded. With the Thunder Dragon technique and the Tempest Bird's understanding of thunder techniques, Wang Xian's foundation in thunder techniques was much stronger than the Thunder Light race. Really? In that case, can we come over anytime? A female disciple asked with beaming eyes. For the time being. I'm free now. Wang Xian pondered for a moment before agreeing. Now that all the lightning feathers had been found, he was indeed free. That's great. Since we are free now, senior brother Wang Xian can teach us a thing or two. The fourth senior sister said with a beaming face. All right, let's go to the training field. Wang Xian said. Let's go. The group of female disciples exclaimed excitedly. Following them, Wang Xian came to the place where the disciples of the Thunder Light Race were practicing their thunder techniques. There were many disciples in the training field. When they saw Wang Xian in the group, they were all curious. Wang Xian and the group came to a separate training field. Tell me if you have any questions. I'll tell you if I know. Wang Xian stood in the middle and said to them. With his current strength, he was qualified to teach them. Let me do it, senior brother Wang Xian. A female disciple stretched out her hand and asked a question. Wang Xian replied without hesitation. It's true. Soon, that female disciple exclaimed and nodded her head. Senior brother Wang Xian, I've created a thunder technique and want to cultivate it into the law of Dharma form to help me break through. What do you think? Soon, another lady asked seriously. Wang Xian nodded his head, looked over, and explained. After teaching a few female disciples, the rest of the female disciples' eyes lit up. Even the fourth senior sister was surprised. After hesitating for a moment, she also asked a question. This question was easily solved by Wang Xian. This surprised all the disciples. Among the disciples, some had masters, and some had parents and elders to guide them. However, their masters and parents were mostly rank 7 or rank 8 universe supremacies. There were very few rank 9 universe supremacies. Their masters and parents' understanding of thunder techniques was completely inferior to Wang Xian's. Senior brother Wang Xian, do you know sage techniques? I've encountered a problem when I tried to integrate sage techniques into thunder techniques. Lei Yunzi couldn't help but ask Wang Xian after a while. Sage techniques? Wang Xian frowned slightly when he heard her question. I don't know much about sage techniques, but a friend gave me a painting. As he spoke, he took out a painting that scholar Feng Wanxing had given him back on the ship. This painting was drawn by him and was one of his masterpieces. One could comprehend some sage techniques from it. Take a look at this painting. It's similar to the Great Tao. To use words and paintings to trigger thunder techniques, one has to master the laws and rules within. Wang Xian added. Lei Yunzi's eyes lit up when she saw the painting. She was excited and immediately responded. Thank you, senior brother Wang Xian. Chapter 3377. Have you heard? Senior brother Wang Xian is guiding a group of disciples at the training field. Many female senior sisters and junior brothers are there. You just heard about it? I heard that even senior sister Lei Yunzi is pouring tea for senior brother Wang Xian. Ah, my goddess. Senior brother Wang Xian is ranked 3rd on the ranking of our Thunder Light Tribe disciples. He's a monster. The news of Wang Xian guiding a group of disciples at the training field spread like wildfire. Many disciples rushed over upon hearing the news. Since Wang Xian had decided to guide them to repay the great elder's kindness, he wasn't impatient at all. In the chaotic continent, there was no such thing as day and night. Years were calculated in terms of eras. Therefore, 10 days to half a month was just the time for them to ponder over a problem. A casual journey here would take a few months. One could imagine how worthless time was. Wang Xian guided them continuously for 5 days. Later on, more disciples rushed over. He didn't mind and continued guiding them patiently. This caused his reputation to rise rapidly among the disciples of the Thunder Light Tribe. At this moment, more than 1,000 disciples had gathered at the training field. All of them were looking at the figure sitting in front of them with admiration. Senior brother Wang Xian is amazing. He can easily point out any cultivation difficulties. He's too strong. Yeah, I think he's even stronger than great senior brother. Great senior brother? I think he's even stronger than our elder. Even fourth senior sister is asking senior brother Wang Xian for guidance. The surrounding disciples discussed softly. Senior brother Wang Xian, have some tea. Beside Wang Xian, Lei Yunzi, Lei Zhengyun, and the rest were talking passionately. Wang Xian smiled faintly. He looked at the disciple in front of him and gave him some pointers. That Wang Xian is too strong. Let's report this to eldest senior brother. Judging from senior brother Lei Yunzi's reaction, she must have taken a liking to Wang Xian. If great senior brother knows about this, he'll definitely be furious. He'll probably teach Wang Xian a good lesson. 3 middle-aged men at the side transmitted their voices to each other. The great senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe was the strongest among them. He had been the great senior brother for tens of millions of years. Even though he hadn't reached a level 8 universe venerable yet, he was almost invincible among level 7 universe venerables. The 3 of them had also obtained many benefits by following their eldest senior brother. Among all the disciples, he was ranked in the top 20. They all knew that eldest senior brother liked Thundercloud Purple. They would also report the situation of Thundercloud Purple to eldest senior brother in a timely manner. Now that Lei Yunzi was so attentive to Wang Xian, it was definitely a huge matter for big senior brother. If they didn't report it immediately, they would definitely be punished later on. The 3 of them looked at each other and immediately left. They had absolute confidence in their eldest senior brother's strength. In the past, second senior brother and third senior sister had said that even if they joined forces, they would not be a match for eldest senior brother. One could only imagine how strong eldest senior brother was. Are you telling the truth? Half an hour later, in the Thunderlight Paradise above the main palace of the Thunderlight race. This grotto heaven was the strongest grotto heaven of the lightning race, and also the most important one. However, not everyone could cultivate here. Among all the disciples, only the strongest eldest senior brother or eldest senior sister had the right to cultivate here. At this moment, a burly middle-aged man flew out from inside. The middle-aged man asked with a gloomy expression. He had a dignified look on his face and was surrounded by lightning bolts. Eldest senior brother, we only rushed here to report after checking it out. A middle-aged man replied respectfully. They were full of respect for their eldest senior brother. Among all the disciples, eldest senior brother was the strongest existence of the current generation. Wang Xian, tell me all the information about him. Teaching disciples at the training ground? TSK, I want to see for myself. As eldest senior brother spoke, he snorted softly and flew in the direction of the training ground of the lightning race disciples. The 3 middle-aged men immediately followed behind and told eldest senior brother all the information about Wang Xian. Purebred divine dragon? Less than 20 years? A rank 7 universe supremacy? When eldest senior brother heard Wang Xian's information, his expression changed slightly. Tisk. All the supreme talents are still weaklings before they become experts. He remained silent for dozens of seconds before he snorted coldly with a sullen face. However, there was a tinge of pressure in his eyes. Swish. When he arrived at the training ground of the lightning race, eldest senior brother scanned the surroundings. Eldest senior brother, over here. The 3 of them led him towards the training ground. There were still some disciples walking towards the training ground. Eldest senior brother, greetings to eldest senior brother. Greetings to eldest senior brother. When some disciples saw eldest senior brother, they were slightly shocked and quickly greeted him with respect. Eldest senior brother didn't say a word and walked straight in. Wow, that junior brother is so lucky. He actually broke through on the spot under senior brother Wang Xian's guidance. Senior brother Wang Xian is too awesome. He's simply invincible. As soon as they entered, they heard exclamations coming from the front. Eldest senior brother furrowed his brows slightly and looked ahead. When he saw Lei Yunzi standing beside a young man, his expression changed slightly. He had liked Lei Yunzi for a long time. However, her attitude towards him was very ordinary. Now that he saw her looking at the disciple named Wang Xian with admiration, he clenched his fists slightly. Eldest senior brother, you have to calm down. The elders in the family have instructed us to befriend Wang Xian. The 3 middle-aged disciples at the side immediately reminded him when they sensed the imposing aura emanating from him. Disciples can only improve better through sparring. Eldest senior brother's eyes were a little cold as he moved slightly. Next disciple with a question. Come up. At this time, Wang Xian's voice sounded. In the middle, the young man bowed with excitement and walked to the side. I have. A female disciple was about to go up. At this time, she suddenly saw a figure in the middle and was taken aback. I have a question regarding cultivation. Eldest senior brother, who came to the middle, stared at Wang Xian and asked plainly, Huh, this is eldest senior brother. What is eldest senior brother doing here? Seeking guidance from senior brother Wang Xian? With eldest senior brother's strength, does he still need to seek guidance from senior brother Wang Xian? The sudden appearance of the eldest senior brother in the center caused all the surrounding disciples to be shocked. Lei Yunzi, who was beside Wang Xian, was taken aback. Subsequently, she frowned slightly. Ask away. When Wang Xian heard the discussions around him, he raised his eyebrows and took a sip of tea. Chapter 3378. Ask away. When Wang Xian uttered these two words, all the surrounding disciples were equally stunned. Ask away? The sudden appearance of the eldest senior brother surprised and stunned all the disciples. They had mentioned their eldest senior brother's identity just now, and Wang Xian had obviously heard it. Yet, he still said, ask away. What did that mean? Did that mean that I'm qualified to teach your eldest senior brother? He's totally disrespecting eldest senior brother. Wang Xian is so arrogant. How dare he say ask away to eldest senior brother? He's too arrogant. That's right. Eldest senior brother can reach rank 8 universe supremacy anytime. Wang Xian doesn't even respect eldest senior brother. Does he really think that he's stronger than some elders? When the three middle-aged men heard Wang Xian's words, they were displeased as they spoke coldly. The surrounding disciples also pursed their lips and looked on in shock. Senior brother Wang Xian. He's the current eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray race. He's very strong. Lei Yunzi hurriedly transmitted a message to Wang Xian when she saw this. Wang Xian smiled and wasn't bothered. He naturally heard the discussions of the surrounding disciples and could tell the strength of the middle-aged man in the middle. A rank 7 universe supremacy was definitely not weak among rank 7 universe supremacies. But now that Wang Xian's thunder technique had reached its peak, he didn't think that anyone among the rank 7 universe supremacies could be his match. Moreover, with his current strength, it was more than enough to guide a rank 7 universe supremacy disciple. Ha ha ha, good. Young and frivolous. Not bad. Eldest senior brother squinted his eyes and burst into laughter when he heard him. He stared at Wang Xian with a tinge of mockery and coldness. Initially, he felt immense pressure towards Wang Xian, because his potential was too terrifying. But now, it seemed like he was just an arrogant kid. How could he be invincible with such a temperament? The tallest tree in the forest would be destroyed by the wind. All the sky prides were weaklings before they became strong. Since you're so confident, I'd like to ask you for advice. I, Lei Yuntian, am just one step away from breaking through to rank 5 universe supremacy. My thunder technique has already reached the peak of rank 7 universe supremacy. How do I break through? Eldest senior brother Lei Yuntian stared at Wang Xian and asked with a smirk, be more specific. Upon hearing his words and seeing his expression, Wang Xian continued plainly. It was as if a teacher was teaching his students. I don't know how to express it. Why don't I show it to you and let you feel it? Lei Yuntian squinted his eyes and said, Sure. Wang Xian replied plainly, Haha, good. We can't display our skills here. Let's go to the arena above the training field. Lei Yuntian laughed out loud. He slowly turned around and flew outside. I hope you won't disappoint me and can hold out for a few more seconds. His voice resounded in the martial arts arena. Is this a spar? This. Everyone who saw this scene was dumbfounded. Is senior brother Wang Xian going to spar with eldest senior brother? Don't worry, it should be enough to guide you. Wang Xian chuckled. With a swift move, he followed closely behind. Senior brother Wang Xian is actually so confident. Eldest senior brother has reached the combat strength of a level 7 universe venerable for more than 20 million years. Senior brother Wang Xian has just broken through not long ago. How can he fight? Senior brother Wang Xian is too young and full of vigor. How can he be a match for eldest senior brother? I think senior brother Wang Xian is too arrogant. The other disciples have been praising him for the past few days. Does he really think he is a match for eldest senior brother? When the surrounding disciples heard Wang Xian, they couldn't help but comment. Although Wang Xian had made a name for himself over the past few days, Lei Yuntian was their eldest senior brother. He had been their eldest senior brother for tens of millions of years. His prestige was definitely not something that Wang Xian could catch up to in the past few days. Many disciples were displeased when they heard what he said. Let's follow him. Lei Zhangyun, Lei Yunzi and the rest frowned and immediately followed behind. At the same time, they immediately passed the news to the group of elders. Senior brother Wang Xian is going to spar with eldest senior brother. Senior brother Wang Xian is challenging eldest senior brother. He wants to spar with eldest senior brother. Let's go and watch. Soon, the news about the spar between Wang Xian and Lei Yuntian spread like wildfire. When all the disciples heard the news, they immediately flew towards the arena above the training field. All the disciples were shocked. Lei Yuntian had been the eldest senior brother for tens of millions of years. All the disciples were convinced by him. Senior brother Wang Xian had just joined the Thunder Ray tribe not long ago. Yet, he wanted to spar with eldest senior brother? Young people can be arrogant. You have the capital to be arrogant. However, you have to pay the price for being too arrogant. Today, I'm going to teach you a lesson. Lei Yuntian flew to the highest arena. His thunder wings spread out behind him as he stared at Wang Xian and spoke plainly. You were the one who asked me for advice. I should be the one to teach you a lesson and give you some pointers. When Wang Xian heard what he said, his lips curved slightly as he replied with a smile. Huh. Senior brother Wang Xian is so confident. He's not confident. He's being too arrogant. When the disciples who were following closely behind heard their conversation, they couldn't help but comment. I'll let you know how high the sky is and how thick the earth is. Lei Yuntian's eyes were cold. With a flick of his palm, a thunder hammer and a thunder all appeared in his hands. It was especially so for the thunder hammer. It shone with purple radiance and contained a terrifying aura. Heh! Wang Xian chuckled. With a flick of his palm, the thunder prison appeared in his hands. Crackle! Lei Yuntian raised the thunder hammer in his hand and gently touched the thunder awl. The sound of thunder and lightning reverberated. Swoosh! The thunder wings appeared behind Wang Xian with the shadow of a thunder dragon on them. He flew above the thunder prison. This isn't your era yet. I won't bully you. Make your move. Lei Yuntian stared at him coldly. Watch carefully. I'll teach you well from now on. Wang Xian smiled and swung his arm. Prison chain frenzy dragon. He roared and swung his arm. In the next instant, the acquired treasure thunder prison enlarged and the thunder dragon within it roared. He carried the thunder prison and charged towards Lei Yuntian. TSK, you don't know what's good for you. Lei Yuntian snorted coldly. The thunder hammer smashed heavily on the thunder awl. The acquired treasure thunder all released a terrifying thunderbolt that struck towards the thunder dragon and thunder prison. Break! He roared. It's a little slow. After all, acquired treasures are just worldly possessions. If you want to make a breakthrough, it's better not to rely on such treasures for the time being. Wang Xian commented emotionlessly as though he was teaching a student. This caused Lei Yuntian's face to darken. Chapter 3379. Swish, swish, swish. Gosh, big senior brother and senior brother Wang Xian are really fighting. Although senior brother Wang Xian is a divine dragon, he has just stepped into the level 7 universe venerable realm. How can he be a match for big senior brother? How dare he compete with big senior brother? He's too arrogant. As the battle erupted, more and more disciples flew over. Looking at the two people who were already fighting in the arena, a look of shock appeared on their faces. Wong wong wong. At this time, 5 figures suddenly appeared at the side of the arena. 5 old men could be vaguely seen as they stared at the arena. This disciple of Wang Xian is too arrogant. Yun Tian is after all the big senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe. He has been nurtured by the Thunderlight tribe. Although Wang Xian has unlimited potential, he's still too young to challenge Yun Tian. The 4 old men were all elders of the Thunderlight tribe. One of the elders looked over and commented plainly. Second elder, that might not be the case. Wang Xian's disciple isn't from an ordinary tribe. Even among the pinnacle, he would be a supreme talent. In the middle, the great elder shook his head. His eyes flickered as he watched Wang Xian controlling the thunder dragon to fight with Lei Yuntian. He, great elder, I don't believe that a disciple who hasn't even reached the 20th epoch can defeat our big senior brother. If that's the case, we old fellows would have lived in vain. The second elder frowned and said. He didn't believe that Wang Xian would be a match for Lei Yuntian. Lei Yuntian was the most talented disciple of the Thunder Light tribe. His cultivation period was dozens of times longer than Wang Xian's. Wang Xian had just broken through to the level 7 universe venerable realm, even if he was a purebred divine dragon. From the bottom of his heart, he wasn't willing to believe that Wang Xian was Lei Yuntian's disciple. At the same time, he hoped that Lei Yuntian would win. Otherwise, it would be a huge blow to them. Many of the surrounding disciples had the same thoughts as the second elder. They were all living beings from the chaotic continent, but the divine dragon bloodline was only one level higher than theirs. If their big senior brother was defeated, it would be a huge blow to them. Go, big senior brother. Big senior brother is the strongest. If senior brother Wang Xian wants to defeat big senior brother, he'll need at least a dozen more eras. Some disciples cheered for big senior brother. Buzz buzz. At this moment, two figures slowly appeared beside the elders. Yuntian is much weaker in terms of controlling the thunder art. With such terrifying talent, it's hard for even the disciples of the top clans to have such an abnormal existence. The appearance of the two figures caused the elders to be slightly startled. Patriarch, exalted. They hurriedly shouted respectfully. The Lightning Race Patriarch and the Grand Elder waved their hands. This, clan leader, Grand Elder, how is this possible? No matter how strong the disciple of Wang Xian is, it's impossible for him to defeat Yuntian. How long has it been since he broke through? The second elder said in disbelief. Continue watching. The eyes of the leader of the lightning race flickered. Get lost. In the center of the arena, Lei Yuntian held a lightning hammer in one hand and a lightning awl in the other. He looked like a thunder god that had descended. He flew above Lei Long with a cold expression on his face, and the terrifying power of thunder attacked Lei Long Buzz. Below, the thunder wings on Wang Xian's back trembled and bolts of lightning connected to the thunder dragon. The thunder dragon's horns shone brightly as it charged forward. Below it, the massive thunder prison enveloped Wang Xian directly. Rumble. An intense collision sounded, and the terrifying thunder and lightning caused tiny cracks to appear in the void. Lei Yuntian quickly retreated backward to avoid the attack of the thunder prison. Nomological laws of Dharma, thunder flashes of the 9 heavens. Seeing that the thunder dragon was still imbued with terrifying power, his face darkened and he let out a deep roar. The nomological laws of Dharma was unleashed. Crackle. 9 bolts of lightning, each more horrifying than the previous, fell directly on the thunder dragon. The power of this nomological laws of Dharma isn't bad, but it's too cumbersome. Wang Xian stood below and evaluated it plainly. 8 directional thunder pillars. Roar. Roar. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes and the thunder dragon formed by the thunder art roared. 8 thunder pillars appeared around it instantly. The divine dragon circled around the thunder pillars and attacked Lei Yuntian directly. Shit. Lei Yuntian's expression changed slightly when he saw this. His thunder flash 9th heaven consisted of 9 bolts of lightning striking one after another. Each strike was stronger than the previous one. However, the 8 directional thunder pillars exploded with horrifying power. The first bolt of lightning was instantly crushed by the thunder pillars and continued to attack him. He flapped his wings and dodged to the side immediately. His face was extremely gloomy. At this moment, even though most of the disciples couldn't see the battle between Wang Xian and Lei Yuntian clearly, they could still see the situation clearly. Wang Xian had been standing there and controlling the thunder dragon. From time to time, he would even give his comments casually. On the other hand, their eldest senior brother was dodging attacks everywhere. He couldn't do anything to the thunder dragon and thunder prison. He was obviously at a disadvantage. This made many disciples feel incredulous. Senior brother Wang Xian has just broken through. How can he put eldest senior brother in such a pathetic state? This is unbelievable. Even a divine dragon shouldn't be this powerful. Eldest senior brother probably hasn't released his ultimate move yet. Eldest senior brother seemed to have cast the nomological laws of Dharma just now. The disciples discussed with their eyes wide open. At your level, there aren't many experts who can guide you. You aren't a match for me. Why don't you try to break through with your fighting spirit? However, don't be discouraged. At this moment, everyone heard Wang Xian's voice again. Everyone from the Thunder Light tribe opened their mouths slightly. Confidence? Arrogance? Arrogance? Or strength? Huff huff. At this moment, Lei Yuntian's breathing was a little rapid. The thunder wings on his back were pitch black and his face was gloomy. Seeing this, the second elder's expression was gloomy. The outcome was already very obvious. Wang Xian could put Lei Yuntian in such a pathetic state just by controlling the Thunder Dragon. If he were to fight Wang Xian himself, Lei Yuntian would definitely not be a match for him. In fact, under such circumstances, he might not even be a match for Wang Xian. All right, Yuntian, you have lost. Wang Xian will be the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe in the future. At this moment, the chief of the Thunder Light tribe, who was standing at the side, announced, "What? It's the chief and the rest. Greetings, chief. Greetings, Grand Supreme." Upon hearing this voice, the surrounding disciples hurriedly looked over and bowed respectfully. Lei Yuntian's body trembled as he looked at the chief and the rest. He took a deep breath. "Greetings, Chief and Grand Supreme." He greeted respectfully. His eyes were filled with indignation, disbelief, and shock. He knew that he had lost. He had lost to a new disciple. The position of the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe had changed hands. Chapter 3380. It was Wang Xian's first time meeting the chief of the Thunder Ray tribe. He cupped his hands and greeted him, not because of anything else, but because the chief of the Thunder Ray tribe was older than him. Wang Xian chuckled to himself and didn't hold it against him. Hee. The chief of the Thunder Ray tribe and the rest looked at Wang Xian with shock in their eyes. "Yuntian, Wang Xian, come with us." As the chief of the Thunder Ray tribe spoke, he waved his arm and a bolt of lightning appeared beneath them. It flew towards the main hall. The Grand Elder stood at the side. "From today onwards, I, Wang Xian, will be your big senior brother and the leader of the disciples. According to the rules of the Thunder Ray tribe, all of you have to obey big senior brother's orders." The Great Elder looked at the surrounding disciples as he spoke after seeing the chief leaving with Wang Xian and Lei Yuntian. Yes, all the disciples were shocked as they answered immediately. "Don't be discouraged and don't feel discouraged. Your big senior brother Wang Xian's talent is unparalleled even among all the elite tribes." The Great Elder looked at them and added. The Great Elder was really worried that the disciples would be discouraged. After all, Wang Xian was the youngest among all the disciples of the Thunder Ray tribe. To be their big senior brother at such a young age was a huge blow to them. After the Great Elder finished his sentence, he left with the group of elders following behind him. Senior brother Wang Xian actually won, and with such ease. Even the clan leader and the Great Elder have such high praise for senior brother Wang Xian. This is simply unbelievable. Yeah, who would have expected senior brother Lei Yuntian to be defeated? From today onwards, senior brother Wang Xian will be our big senior brother. The Great Elder's praise is too high. It's great that Wang Xian is our big senior brother. He is even willing to guide our disciples. I heard that he captured many wild beasts and gave them to the tribe. Awesome. I want big senior brother Wang Xian to be my goal. When the group of disciples saw the patriarch and the elders leaving, they discussed in shock. "Disciple Wang Xian, welcome to the Thunder Ray tribe. According to the rules of the Thunder Ray tribe, the one who becomes the big senior brother will be rewarded with an acquired cardinal treasure. In view of your excellence, I can make an exception and open the treasure vault. You can choose any treasure within." In the main hall of the Thunder Ray tribe, the chief led Wang Xian and the rest over. "Huh. Thank you, patriarch." Wang Xian was slightly taken aback. After hesitating for a moment, he did not reject and nodded his head slightly. Second Supreme Elder, please bring him to our clan's treasury. The Thunder Ray tribe leader said to the Supreme Elder beside him. All right. The second Supreme Elder nodded his head and looked at Wang Xian. He smiled and said, Let's go. Yes. Wang Xian immediately cupped his fists. Take out that Dragon Ball and let him choose. Suddenly, the Thunder Light tribe leader sent a voice transmission to the second Grand Elder. The second Grand Supreme Elder's body trembled slightly as he nodded at the Thunder Light tribe patriarch. He waved his arm and brought Wang Xian to the back. They kept flying backward, and soon, they entered a small thundercloud. However, Wang Xian could sense great terror from this thundercloud. A palpitating feeling came over him. Hee, this is where the treasury of the Thunder Ray tribe is located. It's located in a grotto heaven with an offensive nature. Seeing Wang Xian's expression, the second Supreme Elder smiled and continued. The offensive power of this grotto heaven can easily kill pinnacle supremacies of the universe. Moreover, the first Supreme Elder is guarding this place with an innate spiritual treasure. Innate spiritual treasure. Wang Xian was shocked to hear the words of the second Supreme Elder. Hee, let's go. The second Supreme Elder smiled faintly and entered the entrance in front of him. First Supreme Elder, the chief must have informed you. He walked to the door and shouted directly, Let me take a look at this purebred divine dragon disciple. At this time, a figure suddenly appeared in front of Wang Xian. He sized him up and exclaimed, Impressive! Youngsters nowadays are really impressive. Let's go in. Thank you, First Supreme Elder. Wang Xian took a look at the old man and cupped his hands in greeting. Let's go. The second Supreme Elder placed his palm on the metal door of the entrance. The door of the treasury opened and brought him in. After passing through a tunnel filled with thunderbolts, Wang Xian and the rest arrived at a stone chamber filled with thunderbolts. There were some treasures placed in the stone chamber, and each of them contained immense power. There weren't many treasures. There were only over 20 of them, and most of them were acquired treasures with thunder attributes. There's one more treasure that the chief allows you to choose from. Of course, if you really can't use it, you can forget about it. As the second Supreme Elder spoke, he dripped a drop of blood onto a ball in the middle. The space in front of him instantly turned illusory. He reached out and a universal box appeared in his hand. Wang Xian was slightly shocked when he heard him and saw the box in his hand. A strong suction force came over and his eyes shone brightly. Wang Xian's breathing quickened when he saw this. This is one of the most precious treasures of the Thunder Light race. It's comparable to an innate spiritual treasure. As it doesn't match the attributes of the Thunder Light race, it has always been placed here. The second Supreme Elder of the Thunder Light race said as he looked at Wang Xian. This is the divine weapon of the divine dragon, the Dragon Ball. As he spoke, he slowly opened it, and a blazing flame bloomed. As the flame burned, cracks appeared in the surrounding void. It was extremely terrifying. A Dragon Ball at the level of a Universe Lord. Wang Xian exclaimed in shock with his eyes wide open. Yes, a Dragon Ball at the level of a Universe Lord. It should be a First-Order Universe Lord, and is definitely comparable to an innate spiritual treasure. It might even be more precious than an innate spiritual treasure for cultivators with fire attributes. The second Supreme Elder spoke with a heavy tone. This is too precious. Wang Xian opened his mouth and looked at the second Supreme Elder of the Thunder Light race. The chief has made an exception and brought it out for you to choose. If it's useful to you, you can choose it. If it's not useful, then don't choose it. This is also a treasure to the Thunder Light race. The second Supreme Elder chuckled and said, A Dragon Ball at the level of a Universe Lord was indeed a treasure to the Thunder Light race. Even if they couldn't use it, they could still exchange it for a huge amount of resources and an innate spiritual treasure. The reason why the Thunder Light race brought it out for Wang Xian to choose was because they saw his potential. They wanted to let Wang Xian know that the Thunder Light race had treated him well. This could be considered a bet. They were betting that Wang Xian would definitely become a powerful existence in the future and would definitely know how to be grateful. Second Supreme Elder, this fire spirit ball is of great use to me. Wang Xian, will repay the kindness of the Thunder Light Race tenfold in the future. Wang Xian said to the second Supreme Elder with gratitude when he saw the Fire Spirit Ball. Once he had this Fire Spirit Ball, his 5 elements grindstone could be upgraded again. Chapter 3381. Hehe, alright. Since it's useful to you, take it. Upon hearing Wang Xian, the second Supreme Elder revealed a smile. 10 times the reward was more than enough. Since the Thunder Ray race had taken out such a treasure, they were betting on Wang Xian's future. You may leave. Now that you have become the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray race, your status is equivalent to that of an elder. You can go to most places in the Thunder Ray race, and you also have quite a bit of authority. The Great Elder will inform you about this later. Also, under normal circumstances, there will be a celebration for the birth of every eldest senior brother. You can set a time for this celebration. There's no rush. It can be held within 10 years. The second Supreme Elder said to Wang Xian with a smile. He was very satisfied with Wang Xian. Their only regret was that he wasn't a disciple of the Lightning Race. However, after thinking about it, the Thunder Ray race would not be able to produce such a talented disciple. Yes, Supreme Second Elder. Wang Xian nodded his head and held the Fire Spirit Ball in his hand. After exiting the treasure vault of the Thunder Ray race, Wang Xian separated from the second Supreme Elder and flew towards his own palace. The second Supreme Elder watched as Yifutian entered the main hall. Patriarch, he chose that dragon pearl. He came to the main hall and said directly, if I'm not mistaken, although it's a fire dragon pearl, its grade is too high. It should be extremely beneficial for his cultivation. What do you think of him? The Thunder Light Race Patriarch said without the slightest surprise. His character is not bad. He won't be an ingrate. Second Supreme Elder said with a smile. Yes, the disciples of the ancestral dragon's lineage, including that ancestral dragon, have been doing very well. The Thunder Light Tribe leader commented. He looked at Lei Yuntian, who was beside him. Yuntian, you don't have to be too concerned about the results of the previous match. Someone like him is a unique existence even amongst the peak tribes. You can see it as motivation, but don't compare yourself to him. In the world of the strong, age doesn't matter. As long as you are strong, talent and potential are secondary. Yes, Patriarch. Lei Yuntian clenched his fists tightly and nodded heavily. He was also clear that there was no need to compare talent and potential with someone of this level, because that was purely looking for trouble. It was enough to compare strength. He was only slightly weaker than the Heaven Stinger. He still had a chance. Our gains from this trip to the Thunder Ray tribe are simply too great. Upon entering the palace, Wang Xian opened the Fire Spirit Ball and his eyes lit up. After gathering the feathers of thunder, the unbeginning sacred wings became complete, and its strength increased. Now that he had obtained a powerful fire dragon pearl, he could upgrade the 5 elements grindstone. I owe the Thunder Ray race quite a lot now. I'll have to repay them in the future. He thought to himself as he contacted the Great Elder of the Lightning Race. Every time a Grand Senior Brother was born in the Thunder Ray race, a grand banquet would be held. Wang Xian informed the Great Elder to hold the banquet a year later. Now, he had to raise the grade of the 5 elements grindstone. Also, there were some other things he had to decide. After setting up a seclusion sign outside, Wang Xian called the blazing dark sky array over. Previously, after Wang Xian had given him the ancient oil lamp, he had gone for an upgrade. His advancement this time was very smooth, and he did not encounter any special circumstances. He still had no idea where he would be teleported to. Dark Sky Array's strength had reached level 8 of the Universe Venerable Realm. This strength was already very strong. When he first arrived at the interior of the chaotic continent, he hunted down a muscle-head snake. As a result, his strength had also reached level 9 of the Universe Venerable Realm. Dark Sky Array, you stay here and inform me if there's anything. Wang Xian instructed before disappearing immediately. In the next moment, he arrived at the Dragon Palace. Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle sensed his arrival and greeted him respectfully. Prime Minister Turtle, how's the investigation of the nearby sea region? Asked Wang Xian. Dragon King, the investigation is basically done. Any deeper, and it will be the interior of the chaotic continent. Dragon King, should we let the disciples enter the interior? Asked Prime Minister Turtle. The Dragon Palace had been recuperating for about 12 years. This was the longest period of recuperation in the Dragon Palace so far. How's the understanding of the internal situation of the Dragon Palace? Asked Wang Xian. Dragon King, we have a good understanding. I think we can let the disciples enter the interior of the chaotic continent, said Prime Minister Turtle. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly and agreed with him. The internal forces are stronger. Our Dragon Palace can only be considered an ordinary force if we go there. Let them form groups or enter the interior alone to gain experience. We can also emulate the ancestral dragon lineage, he said after pondering for a while. Other than him, the current Dragon Palace wasn't too strong. If they entered the interior of the continent and he wasn't in charge of the Dragon Palace, the strength of the Dragon Palace would be completely insignificant. After all, in the interior, some forces of the cities and pinnacle experts weren't weaker than the Dragon Palace. In that case, we might as well let the disciples emulate the ancestral dragon lineage and gain experience on their own. I agree. There are more opportunities in the interior of the chaotic continent. Every disciple of the Dragon Palace will also have their own opportunities. If we split them up, they might be able to improve qualitatively. Prime Minister Turtle agreed. You will arrange this matter. Let Enlai work hard. If any disciples obtain resources and want to improve, get him to pick them up. Wang Xian instructed. If the disciples of the Dragon Palace went out for experience and hunted a large number of wild beasts, they still had to make a trip back to the Dragon Palace to improve. If they were to fly on their own, it might take up too much time. Wang Xian could inform Enlai. Moreover, if they encountered some opportunities and wanted to step into the land of opportunities, Enlai would also be of great help. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded and immediately ordered the preparations. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. With a wave of his palm, the 5 elements grindstone and fire spirit ball appeared in his hands. Next, it's time to upgrade the 5 elements grindstone, he murmured. The level of this fire spirit ball was very high. Even if the 5 elements grindstone upgraded by 1 level, it would still be able to improve significantly. However, if he wanted to break through 2 levels consecutively, it might be difficult. This time, the absorption will take at least 2 months, he murmured. He wasn't in a hurry as he continued to refine and absorb. Days passed. Under the organization of Prime Minister Turtle, the members of the Dragon Palace formed groups of 3 to 5 or left alone. The group of purebred divine dragons all left. They embarked on their journey. Even Xiaolon, Xiaozhai, and the rest left. Unlike the members of the Dragon Palace, Xiaolon and the rest went to the mountains and seas, a place where wild beasts roamed. Lan Qingyue wanted to tag along but was stopped by Wang Xian. Although the girls were stronger, there was no need for them to take the risk. It was enough for the 1,000,000 disciples of the Dragon Palace to go out. 2 months later, the 5 elements grindstone completed its evolution. Chapter 3382. On the 5 elements grindstone, the 5 divine dragons emitted a powerful aura. When they fused together, they could kill a pinnacle supremacy of the universe. He broke through. After the 5 elements grindstone upgraded, the fire spirit pearl wasn't completely absorbed. There was still more than half of the energy left. Although this energy wasn't enough to upgrade the 5-element grindstone again, it could accumulate a massive amount of energy for the next upgrade. If he could obtain another fire spirit pearl of this grade, he should be able to make a breakthrough in the 5 elements grindstone. The 5 elements grindstone's absorption didn't stop after it was upgraded. A month later, the fire spirit pearl had completely disappeared, and the might of the 5 elements grindstone had increased again. Phew, my strength is already comparable to a pinnacle universe supremacy. Now that I've reached the 5 elements grindstone, fighting against and even killing 3 or 4 pinnacle universe supremacies shouldn't be too much of a problem. Of course, if the opponent has a Xiantian treasure, then it won't be possible. Wang Xian mumbled to himself with a satisfied look on his face. In 3 months, the refinement of the 5 elements was complete. After spending 2 days with the girls in the Dragon Palace, he called Enlai over. Buzz. When he returned to the Thunder Ray tribe once again, He swept his gaze across the hall and smiled. Next, my goal is to level up. This requires a lot of resources. Wang Xian planned in his mind. The last time he leveled up was because of the unbeginning sacred wings. His realm was still at the universe venerable rank 3. When he reached the 4th order of the universe venerable realm, he would possess the combat power of a first-order universe ruler. Resources? He sighed and took out the universe AI to search. Right now, he couldn't possibly ask the Thunder Ray race for resources. The other party had already given him quite a lot. Furthermore, if he wanted to break through, he would need a lot of resources. He would have to find the resources himself. The Thunder Light tribe resides within the thunderclouds. The entire thundercloud region is a special domain that contains a large number of treasures. There are many places that the elites of the Thunder Light tribe have never stepped into before. Wang Xian murmured. The Thunder Light race was born in the thunderclouds, but they were not the owners of this thundercloud domain. There were many places that the experts of the Thunder Light race did not dare to step into. There were still a lot of treasures in this area. Let's go take a look at the depths of the thunderclouds, he murmured to himself. Then, he took action. His body moved, and he flew out directly. Eldest senior brother. When he arrived at the location of the teleportation formation, the experts guarding the area immediately greeted him respectfully when they saw him. The eldest senior brother's status was equivalent to that of an elder. Even the Thunder Light tribe's deacon would have to address him as eldest senior brother. Wang Xian nodded his head and arrived at the border of the lightning race through the teleportation formation. Eldest senior brother, be careful. With the reminders from the few middle-aged men at the periphery, Wang Xian flew towards the depths. After flying for 2 hours, he sensed his surroundings. Crash! In the next moment, the complete, unbeginning sacred wings appeared on his back. Wang Xian's aura underwent a drastic change. His face was slowly covered by dragon scales. In the next moment, he charged forward. His speed had increased by more than 100 times. This was his peak speed. Awesome! Without concealing his strength, Wang Xian flew within the thunderclouds. Feeling his terrifying speed, he revealed a smile. In a flash, he disappeared. Crash! The unbeginning sacred wings flapped and the power of wind and lightning condensed in front of him. His speed had already surpassed the pinnacle of the universe supremacies. This was a speed that only a ruler could display. With my strength, I should be the best in the entire Thundercloud's domain, right? Even if the strongest expert of the lightning race is wielding an innate spiritual treasure, I have full confidence that I can kill him. Wang Xian mumbled to himself and revealed a smile. The complete, unbeginning sacred wings and the upgraded 5 elements grindstone were his trump cards. Previously, a journey that would have taken them a few months had taken Wang Xian only half a day. After half a day, he arrived at the thunderous net. The thunderous net was densely covered and intertwined. Wang Xian continued to fly forward. He slowed down slightly and scanned his surroundings. Before long, he saw a thundercloud vulture. A rank 6 universe supremacy thundercloud vulture. He squinted his eyes slightly. In a flash, he came to the side of the thundercloud vulture. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Before the thundercloud vulture could react, he caught it instantly. Hee, a rank 6 universe supremacy thundercloud vulture. I'll keep it. Next, I'll capture all the wild beasts below rank 8. He mumbled to himself. If he encountered any wild beasts in the future, he would capture them and gift them to the lightning race disciples as a form of repayment. The most important thing is to look for some treasures, he thought to himself. In a flash, he continued to fly forward. According to the information from the lightning race, there were no existences at the universe lord level in the thundercloud territory. This was a good thing for Wang Xian. Without a universe lord, they could forget about killing him. However, he could not be careless. There were many grotto heavens and blessed lands in the thundercloud territory. Some grotto heavens and blessed lands were occupied by wild beasts. Some grotto heavens and blessed lands had offensive means that could kill those below the universe lord level. He could not be careless, but he did not have to be overly cautious either. Traversing the thunderous clouds of the thunderous net, Wang Xian sensed his surroundings with the unbeginning sacred wings. Some places with dense thunderous or unusual lightning would have treasures. There are quite a lot of treasures here. In the next half a month, Wang Xian found many treasures ranging from Emperor God level to rank 7 and 8 universe supremacy level. Postnatal spiritual treasures with lightning powers, special fruits, and all sorts of other things. Moreover, in this half a month, he had also captured over 100 wild beasts. Among them, there were over a dozen thundercloud vultures. This was mainly because Wang Xian's speed was too fast and his sensitivity to lightning was too strong. If it were other experts at the pinnacle of the universe supremacy level, they would not even be a tenth of his strength. At this moment, he was nearing the depths of the thundercloud territory. Further in would be the forbidden zone for disciples of the lightning race. Once a disciple entered, the death rate would be as high as 80%. Wang Xian did not have the slightest hesitation as he continued to fly forward. It's indeed dangerous. When he was flying ahead, Wang Xian suddenly squinted his eyes. At this point, the thunderous clouds had already connected to the ground. Behind him, the thunderous clouds were several billion kilometers above the ground. In front, the black and purple thunderous clouds were connected to the ground. It looked as though the sky and earth were not separated. In this place, one not only had to pay attention to the surroundings, but also to the ground. Swish! Wang Xian moved his body and entered it directly. Swish, swish, swish. However, as soon as he entered, lightning arrows shot towards him. Chapter 3383. Sensing the arrows flying towards him, Wang Xian shifted his consciousness and his body flickered in an instant. Bam, bam, bam. In the next instant, a series of explosions sounded. Hundreds of thunder male apes were killed by Wang Xian at a position hundreds of millions of kilometers to the right of him. Thunder male apes were a type of wild beast in the thunderclouds region. They excelled in team battles. More than 100 thunder male apes were all rank 7 universe venerables. However, he had ambushed the wrong target this time. Courting death, Wang Xian said coldly. With a wave of his arm, he kept all the corpses. No wonder the interior of the thunderclouds is more dangerous. I really can't be careless. He hesitated for a moment before he flew down and landed on the ground. The thunderclouds here were connected to the ground. There might be wild beasts underground as well. Landing on the ground, he could be more vigilant of his surroundings. He continued flying forward. Before long, Wang Xian came to the front of a mountain under the detection of the unbeginning sacred wings. The mountain wasn't tall, only tens of thousands of meters. However, it was connected to the peak by a lightning pillar. There was a lightning tree at the peak of the mountain. The entire tree was emitting powerful energy. TSK, a rank 9 universe venerable thunder tree. This is a treasure. His eyes sparkled as he sensed the surroundings. There shouldn't be any wild beasts guarding around the lightning tree. However, after sensing for a while, he didn't discover any wild beasts. Swish! Wang Xian moved and landed on the peak of the mountain, beside the lightning tree. He swept his gaze across and reached out to grab it. Rumble! At the moment he made his move, a terrifying attack erupted from the mountain below. A palm made of huge rocks slammed towards Wang Xian. What? A mountain with rank 9 universe venerable strength? He quickly transformed his arms into dragon claws and clenched them together. Then, he smashed them towards the mountain. Bam! The huge impact caused the arm of the mountain to disintegrate instantly. A furious roar came from the mountain. In the next instant, countless huge rocks containing terrifying lightning bolts smashed towards Wang Xian like meteorites. Courting death, Wang Xian roared. Hurricanes containing the power of lightning appeared on the unbeginning sacred wings behind him. The hurricanes attacked the entire mountain. Boom, boom, boom. The meteorite-like boulders instantly crumbled and scattered in all directions. However, when the thunderbolt boulders were attacking Wang Xian, the huge mountain began to turn illusory. It was ready to flee. It's too late. Wang Xian fixed his gaze on the desolate beast on the mountain peak and revealed a cold look. At such a close distance, it was impossible for him to escape. Bam, bam, bam. In an instant, Wang Xian arrived before the body that was about to disappear. Waves of destructive force of the 5 elements blasted into it. Roar! With a fearful roar, Wang Xian swayed his body and charged over with the divine dragon tail. Bam! Cracks appeared on the desolate beast's body as its life force gradually disappeared. This aura concealment ability is truly powerful. Even I can't sense it. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he looked at the dead mountain peak beast. At this moment, he saw purple liquid-like lightning essence flowing out from the crack in the desolate beast's body. Wang Xian waved his hand, and all the purple liquid landed in front of him. Such a majestic force of lightning. I can absorb it directly. Not bad. Wang Xian revealed a smile and kept it. He then looked at the thunderbolt tree above. He flew over and kept it in the dragon palace. There are quite a lot of treasures here. Continue. Wang Xian continued flying forward. In the following month, he found quite a number of treasures and captured hundreds of desolate beasts. There's a huge tree ahead. What a dense force of lightning. On this day, Wang Xian suddenly saw a towering purple tree while he was flying within the thunderclouds. The huge tree was bathed in lightning and looked exceptionally sacred. His eyes lit up as he approached it immediately. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Just before he got close, he heard a familiar chirp. Thundercloud vulture. He squinted his eyes, hid himself, and continued flying forward. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Crackle. Just as he was about to fly over, an inescapable net came crashing down on him. The lightning net formed by the lightning emitted a terrifying aura. This surprised Wang Xian a little. He had actually been discovered. The desolate beasts within the thunderclouds are really strong. The desolate beasts on the mountain peak that I can't sense can detect my thundercloud vulture and even prepared an inescapable net to attack me. Wang Xian thought to himself as the unbeginning sacred wings on his back flapped. Waves of wind and lightning surged towards the surroundings, and the net of lightning that enveloped him dissipated immediately. Chirp, chirp, chirp. At this time, a hurried chirp was heard as a lightning cross attacked Wang Xian. The attack of a rank 9 universe supremacy, Thundercloud Vulture, and there are 2 of them. Wang Xian looked ahead with a cold look in his eyes. He waved his palm, and the 5 elements grindstone flew out and clashed with the lightning cross. Bam! The 5 elements grindstone flew over, and the entire lightning cross collapsed. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The 2 rank 9 universe supremacy Thundercloud Vultures were fearful and frightened when they saw this. They quickly flew towards the thunderbolt tree behind them. Wang Xian squinted his eyes when he saw them flying up the tree. He moved and immediately gave chase. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The 2 thundercloud vultures that landed on the tree raised their heads and let out a hurried chirp. The densely packed thundercloud vultures flew towards the purple tree. So many. Wang Xian looked over and was taken aback. There were a total of 700 to 800 thundercloud vultures standing on the purple tree. They were staring at Wang Xian with murderous eyes. From the rank 1 universe supremacy to the rank 9 universe supremacy, there were all kinds of them. Swish! Wang Xian's eyes lit up, and he came to the front of the purple tree instantly. Wang. The moment he stepped into the purple tree, a purple lightning shield enveloped the entire tree. Bam! Wang Xian's figure collided with the shield, and a loud bang was heard. The lightning shield did not move an inch. This is? He raised an eyebrow and slammed his palm heavily on it. Bam! A huge rebound force came, causing his expression to change slightly, and he was sent flying backward. It's a blessed enclave, a defensive blessed enclave, and it even has the ability to rebound. His expression changed slightly, and he frowned. Chapter 3384. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The group of thundercloud vultures let out mocking sounds when they sensed Wang Xian retreating. I didn't expect this tree to be a grotto heaven. How peculiar. Wang Xian flew a circle around the purple tree and mumbled to himself. Boom. He gave it a try, and a powerful force blasted at the purple tree again. Bam. The powerful attack was reflected, and he hurriedly dodged to the distance. The defense is strong. I reckon even a first-order universe lord's attack can't break the defense of this grotto heaven. Wang Xian's expression changed slightly. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Dozens of thundercloud vultures were flying on top of the purple tree, staring at him and letting out chirps. Their voices were unusually messy and ear-piercing. Clearly, they were mocking him. Hee hee, you bunch of thundercloud vultures, don't get too cocky. Wang Xian's eyes flashed coldly. The AI immediately informed Enlai. Wang. After receiving Enlai's reply, Wang Xian set up a devil spiritual altar. Dragon King. Enlai appeared and bowed to Wang Xian. Bring me in. Wang Xian pointed to the front and said, Yes, Dragon King. Enlai nodded. His figure flashed and instantly disappeared. He entered a branch of the purple tree. After placing a devil spiritual altar, he immediately returned to Wang Xian's side. 5 elements grindstone, 5 elements heaven and earth. Wang Xian waved his arm and the 5 elements grindstone flew above the purple tree. A grayish energy enveloped the entire purple tree. Let's go, Wang Xian shouted. In the next moment, he entered the purple tree. Chirp, 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 chirp. The group of thundercloud vultures cried out in confusion when they saw Wang Xian disappearing. Let's see where you beasts can run to now. Wang Xian's emotionless voice rang in the minds of every thundercloud vulture. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Upon hearing this sound, the feathers of the 2 rank 9 universe venerable realm thundercloud vultures bristled and their eyes were filled with fear. Boom. In the next moment, Wang Xian appeared beside one of the thundercloud vultures and punched. Bam. The massive force immediately caused the thundercloud vulture to land heavily on the purple tree. Large amounts of blood flowed from its mouth. Chain of wind and thunder. Wang Xian let out a low growl. Countless chains on his back struck towards the thundercloud vultures. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. At this moment, all the thundercloud vultures let out terrified cries as they flapped their wings in an attempt to escape. However, in the narrow space of the grotto heaven, they couldn't avoid Wang Xian's attack at all. Chains after chains bound them. Wang Xian pulled with his arm. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Wang Xian easily captured 700 to 800 thundercloud vultures, of which there were 12 thundercloud vultures with universe venerable level 7 battle strength and above. Not bad, not bad. The harvest this time is much greater than the entire thundercloud vulture of the Thunder Ray tribe. A smile appeared on his face. The Thunder Light Race only had a few dozen thundercloud vultures. His harvest this time was 10 times that of theirs. After keeping it, Wang Xian checked out the grotto heaven and blessed land. The purple tree should be able to bear some fruits, but there were none on the tree. It was possible that the thundercloud vulture had devoured them. Continue. After exiting, he continued to fly forward. Next, he flew within the thunderclouds and collected the treasures one by one. Along the way, he came across another grotto heaven. It was a grotto heaven with a strong offensive power. There was a race of thunder ape living in that grotto heaven. There were tens of thousands of them, and the strongest among them was a universe venerable level 9 battle strength. Initially, Wang Xian thought it would be a huge harvest. He didn't expect them to occupy such a powerful grotto heaven. That terrifying offensive power had injured Wang Xian with just a single strike. He didn't dare to linger any longer and fled immediately. This also made him understand why the Thunder Light Race hadn't completely occupied the Thunderclouds region. It wasn't just because they weren't strong enough, but also because of the powerful grotto heaven. Just like the grotto heaven where the Thundercloud vultures were, the Thunder Light Race couldn't do anything about it, let alone this grotto heaven with terrifying offensive power. If it wasn't for Wang Xian's fast speed, there was a 50% chance that an ordinary Pinnacle Universe Venerable would be killed. I'll leave after searching for another 2 months. Wang Xian looked at the time and thought to himself. It had been half a year since he entered this place. Let's see if I can get some treasures in the remaining time. He moved his body and continued to fly forward. Buzz buzz. After flying for half an hour, the unbeginning sacred wings on his back suddenly trembled. Wang Xian shifted his body and looked to the right. In that direction, he sensed a strong suction force from the lightning. This suction force shocked him. What level of treasure is this? He mumbled to himself and immediately flew to his right. Before he could get close, a series of roars could be heard. The horrifying roars made Wang Xian's expression change slightly. This is He lowered his speed and tried his best to hide his figure as he approached slowly. Soon, a thunder ape that was 10,000 meters in size appeared in his sight. On the left of the thunder ape was a thundercloud vulture that was 100 meters in size. On the right was a purple thunder snake that was a few thousand meters in size. On the head of the thunder serpent was a huge thunder horn. Thunder runes floated above the thunder horn. The three wild beasts faced each other from a distance and stared at each other coldly and warily. Around them, there were many corpses. The corpses of these wild beasts still had powerful auras. Wild beasts with the combat strength of a pinnacle universe supremacy. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and exclaimed in his heart. He immediately looked to the center of them. At the center of them, there was a strong thunder force on the ground. This thunder force made Wang Xian unusually fearful. He was sure that if he were to get close to it, he would be pierced through. The three pinnacle universe supremacy wild beasts looked over from time to time with desire and passion in their eyes. Is this the emergence of an innate spiritual treasure or the birth of a universe dominator-level divine grass and divine tree? Wang Xian stared at it closely and his eyes flickered. At this time, the purple thunder snake suddenly let out a roar and coiled its body slightly. Roar, roar. Chirp, chirp. The thunder ape and thundercloud vulture stared at it with fear and growled, unwilling to show weakness. That purple thunder snake is very strong. No, the thunder horn on its head wasn't grown. It's a horrifying treasure. Wang Xian also looked at the purple thunder snake with astonishment. Chapter 3385. Roar. Roar. Seeing Wang Xian charging towards it, the purple lightning snake stared at him coldly. It grabbed at the inborn spiritual treasure and attacked its surroundings indiscriminately. The lightning horns formed by the lightning bolts shuttled through the space. Bam, bam, bam. Now that Wang Xian was within its attack range, he could only use his energy to defend himself. The thunder horn's attack landed on his body, causing his speed to plummet. What a cunning fellow! Wang Xian's eyes darkened. Roar! Roar! He shook his body and transformed into his divine dragon form. 9-colored radiance surged towards the surroundings. Wang Xian swept his dragon tail towards the countless lightning horns. Roar! Seeing Wang Xian, the purple lightning snake had a tinge of fear in its eyes. It lifted its tail and collided with the dragon tail. Bam, bam, bam. Horrifying collisions resounded. 9-colored dragon pillar. Wang Xian roared. 9 elemental dragon pillars appeared around him and blasted towards the purple lightning snake. Roar! The purple lightning snake roared and released its ultimate move. A purple snakehead shadow with a lightning horn appeared above it. The purple snakehead contained horrifying lightning bolts as it charged towards the 9-colored dragon pillar. Rumble! 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 The horrifying collisions made the entire space look exceptionally horrifying. At the side, the 5 elements grindstone and 2 pinnacle supremacy realm wild beasts were engaged in battle. That kind of heart-palpitating, raging energy caused a large portion of the surrounding black clouds to disappear. Swoosh! Wang Xian looked at the collisions in the sky. He swayed his body and flapped his unbeginning sacred wings to attack the purple lightning snake instantly. Boom! Wang Xian opened his dragon mouth and a grayish annihilation river attacked the purple lightning snake. Roar! The purple lightning snake also opened its mouth and spat out sparks of lightning. Boom! In terms of attacking power, the purple lightning snake was not afraid of Wang Xian at all with the enhancement of the inborn spiritual treasure lightning horn. Swoosh! Behind him, the wind and thunder power of the unbeginning sacred wings enveloped Wang Xian. He swayed his dragon body and instantly came to the right of the purple lightning snake. The purple lightning snake quickly turned its head and stared at Wang Xian with vigilance. Bam! However, at this moment, Wang Xian's massive dragon tail swept towards the purple lightning snake at an even faster speed. Bam! The huge sweeping force caused a large amount of blood to appear on the purple lightning snake's body as it flew to the side. Roar! The purple lightning snake's eyes were filled with shock and anger. Roar! Wang Xian roared as well. In an instant, He came to the back of the purple thunder snake and grabbed at it with his dragon claws. On the lightning horn on the purple lightning snake's head, a lightning symbol met the dragon's claw. Boom! The thunder and lightning symbols exploded. Wang Xian felt the power and immediately flapped his unbeginning saint wings to flee. I'd like to see how long you can last. Wang Xian bellowed coldly. He swayed his dragon body and charged forward again. Roar! The purple thunder snake, who had been suppressed and defending passively, stared at Wang Xian with fear in its eyes. Roar! In the next moment, its body was covered in lightning as it charged towards the connate numinous treasure. Its huge body turned into a terrifying snake, bursting forth with its strongest speed. Comparing speed? When Wang Xian saw it charging towards the inborn spiritual treasure, his eyes were filled with mockery. Swoosh! At this moment, Wang Xian's speed was even faster. He reached out his dragon claws and grabbed at the inborn spiritual treasure. Got it! Wang Xian's speed wasn't something the purple thunder snake could match. He reached out his dragon claws and grabbed the inborn spiritual treasure. Got it! Roar! However, at this moment, Wang Xian suddenly sensed a horrifying attack coming from behind. A pitch-black lightning horn burrowed into Wang Xian's body. Bam! The immense force immediately penetrated Wang Xian's defense and drilled through his dragon scales, causing a huge amount of blood to splatter out. Courting death, Wang Xian felt an excruciating pain from his body and immediately turned around. SSS. The purple thunder snake stuck out its tongue and let out a chilling sound. It flew to the side and its body turned illusory. You beast! You're courting death. Wang Xian stared at the disappearing body of the purple thunder snake with murderous intent. The purple thunder snake's final attack was obviously well prepared. It knows that its speed isn't as fast as mine. Hence, it charged over to prepare to attack me. SK, do you think you'll be fine after escaping back to your nest? Wang Xian stared at the spot where the purple thunder snake disappeared with a stern look. Chirp chirp. Roar roar. At the side, the thundercloud vulture and thunder male ape let out anxious cries when they saw Wang Xian getting the inborn spiritual treasure and the purple thunder snake escaping. They quickly flew to the back, set up a defense, and left immediately. Wang Xian swept his gaze across and ignored them. He reached out his dragon claws. Wang! The 5 elements grindstone flew into his hand and disappeared into his body instantly. Wang Xian's eyes fell on the inborn spiritual treasure. As for the specific attack methods of the bell-like inborn spiritual treasure, he would only know after refining it. Crackle! Crackle! Wang Xian didn't refine it immediately. He took a look at the huge wound on his body and a bolt of lightning darted out from his dragon horns. The bolt of lightning flew in a direction. Wang Xian reverted to his human form, flapped his wings, and followed behind the bolt of lightning. As the bolt of lightning flew, it also started to turn illusory. Wang Xian was replenishing its energy before it disappeared. This was searching for enemies in the void. When Wang Xian was fighting with the purple thunder snake, he had already integrated the searching for enemies in the void of unbeginning sacred wings into his attacks. Now, he was going to use this technique to chase after the purple thunder snake. That cunning purple thunder snake had completely infuriated Wang Xian. Knowing that it couldn't get the inborn spiritual treasure, it still schemed against Wang Xian. It had to pay the price. Searching for enemies in the void wasn't omnipotent. If the distance was too far, it would require constant energy support. Moreover, once the purple thunder snake cleared the wind and thunder power that Wang Xian had left in its body, it would lose the ability to chase after Wang Xian. Therefore, Wang Xian didn't linger and chased after it at the fastest speed. He wanted to kill the purple thunder snake. Of course, there was another reason. The thunder horn on the head of the purple thunder snake was also an inborn spiritual treasure. An inborn spiritual treasure was enough for him to try. I hope the nest of the purple thunder snake isn't in an attack type or recovery type grotto heaven. Wang Xian was like a terrifying bolt of lightning as he shuttled through the thunderclouds at high speed. The effect of searching for enemies in the void hadn't disappeared yet. This made Wang Xian's eyes shine brightly. Time passed day by day, and Wang Xian had traversed a long distance in the interior. For days later, the lightning in front of him suddenly glowed. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and looked ahead. He had arrived. Chapter 3386. Just as Wang Xian had expected, this purple thunder snake had its own grotto heaven. With the strength of a pinnacle universe venerable and an inborn spiritual treasure, this guy could definitely occupy a grotto heaven. In front of him, there were many purple thunder snakes in a purple lake. The lake water was purple in color and was formed by the condensed power of lightning. There was a cave in the middle of the lake. This should be a grotto heaven that can aid in cultivation. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and scanned the surroundings. The entire lightning lake wasn't huge, spanning only a few billion kilometers. There were tens of thousands of purple thunder snakes in the lake. Most of them were no weaker than a third or fourth stage universe venerable. This was a powerful wild beast race. And that purple thunder snake was the king of the purple thunder snake race. The lair of the purple thunder snakes is here. Let's see where you can run to now. Wang Xian's eyes were cold. He moved and flew towards the sky above the lightning lake. He flew to a very high position to avoid the detection of all the purple thunder snakes. Wang Xian moved his palm, and the 5 elements grind appeared above him. Boom! In the next instant, the entire 5 elements grind expanded rapidly and covered a radius of a few billion kilometers. Wang Xian transformed into his divine dragon form and swooped down with the 5 elements grind. Boom, boom, boom. Waves of incomparably terrifying energy rushed towards the lightning lake. At this moment, all the purple thunder snakes in the lake trembled and looked up at the sky in horror. SSS, SSS, SSS. They let out fearful cries. SSS, SSS, SSS. At this moment, the purple thunder snake king with a single horn emerged from the entrance of the lake. When it saw Wang Xian in the sky, its eyes were filled with shock and anger. Why did this creature come after me? How did it return to its lair in an instant? How did he know the location of its lair? Sensing the aura from Wang Xian and the 5 elements grind, it was a little anxious. Saintly dragon shadow. Wang Xian let out a deep roar and charged downwards. Seeing Wang Xian attacking, the purple thunder snake lifted its head. The thunder horn on its head released a terrifying power of lightning and charged upwards. Boom, boom, boom. A terrifying collision sound rang out. However, at this moment, the 5 elements grindstone above sent down a long river of destruction that swept downwards. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The rest of the weaker purple thunder snakes roared in horror. Against the attacks of Wang Xian and their Snake King, they could not withstand the horrifying repercussions. In an instant, a large number of purple lightning snakes died. Roar! When the purple lightning Snake King sensed this, its eyes were filled with rage. As its body stirred, the surrounding lightning lake water rose up and condensed into the shape of its body. Then, it attacked the Annihilation River. As it moved, a large number of purple lightning snakes around it were affected and killed instantly. However, at this moment, the purple lightning Snake King couldn't care less. Desolate beasts were desolate beasts because they only had instincts. They only knew how to hunt, eat, and fight. They didn't have much intelligence. Hee hee, I will kill you today, you bastard. Seeing its attack, Wang Xian's face turned cold. With the help of the 5 elements grindstone, he was 100% confident that he could kill a pinnacle supremacy expert, even if the other party had an inborn spiritual treasure. Towering Dragon Horn. Wang Xian bellowed. The dragon horn condensed towering 9-colored radiance and blasted downwards. The attack of the purple lightning Snake King could only break the Annihilation River of the 5 elements grindstone. The attack of the 9-colored towering dragon horn instantly landed on the head of the purple lightning Snake King. Roar, roar. The purple lightning Snake King let out a low growl and its eyes were filled with fear. It lifted its head and met the attack with its thunder horn. Boom, boom, boom. Terrifying collisions resounded, and a large amount of blood flowed out of its head. Roar, roar. In an instant, Wang Xian had already arrived beside it and clawed at it. Swoosh! The purple lightning Snake King swayed its huge body and flung it at Wang Xian. Bam! Wang Xian's dragon tail swept across and collided with it. Bam, bam, bam. As it attacked, the attacks of the five elements grindstone also landed on its body. Large amounts of blood spurted out from its body and various wounds appeared. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The purple lightning snake king's eyes were filled with fear. It swayed its huge body and wanted to escape. It knew that it was definitely no match for Wang Xian. In fact, it would not take long for it to be killed. However, it was daydreaming if it wanted to escape. Swoosh! Wang Xian's body flickered and appeared in front of the purple lightning snake king instantly. He opened his mouth and spat out various torrents of energy. Wang. The five elements grindstone also released waves of attacks and completely engulfed the purple lightning snake king. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The purple lightning snake king sensed the terrifying attacks around it. Its body trembled and was covered with lightning. The surrounding lake water surged towards it to protect its body. Bam, bam, bam. However, the powerful attacks still broke through its defense and caused many wounds on its body. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The purple lightning snake king screamed. Its cold eyes were filled with fear as it curled up and hissed at Wang Xian. Huh, is it surrendering? There aren't many wild beasts that surrender. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow when he saw the purple thunder snake king roaring nonstop. The savagery of the dire beasts was greater than their rationality. They would usually rather die in battle than beg for mercy. However, this purple lightning snake king clearly wanted to live. It was rare, but not that strange. Firstly, Wang Xian's strength was much stronger than it. The might of the divine dragon coupled with his powerful strength had suppressed it completely and made it submit to him. Secondly, the purple lightning serpent king possessed a connate numinous treasure. The primordial numinous treasure had a spirit and could develop intelligence. Under the influence of the primordial numinous treasure, it might have gained some intelligence. Submit? Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he stared at the purple thunder snake king with hesitation. Speaking of which, Wang Xian wasn't too concerned about its submission. If he killed it, the heavenly array could be raised to the peak of the universe supremacy level. Given his strength, it would not be a problem for him to fight 1 against 3. It would be difficult for the purple lightning snake king to fight 1 against 2. And this was under the condition that they were relying on connate numinous treasures. Hiss, hiss, hiss. At this time, the purple lightning snake in front of them lowered its head and kept swallowing. Forget it. I'll just subdue it and make it a mount. He thought for a moment and made up his mind. Chapter 3387. Rumble. In the lightning lake, Wang Xian's body shook as a strong pressure shrouded the purple lightning snake king. Since he was going to suppress it, he had to tame it completely. SSS, SSS, SSS. The purple lightning snake king laid on the ground with its head lowered. It didn't take long to tame and suppress it. It was done within half an hour. SSS, SSS. The purple lightning snake king crawled in front of Wang Xian and swayed its body. Let's go. Bring me to your lair and see if there are any treasures. Wang Xian patted it on the head and ordered. SSS, SSS. The purple lightning snake king nodded its head and swam towards the entrance of the cave. He kept all the corpses that had died because of their battle. SSS, SSS, SSS. As soon as Wang Xian entered the cave, he immediately sensed a majestic force of lightning. This was a place where lightning cultivators could improve rapidly. The lair of the purple lightning snake king was in the depths of the cave. SSS, SSS, SSS. The purple lightning snake king brought him in and stuck out its tongue. Huh, there aren't any treasures in there? Wang Xian looked inside, frowned slightly, and transmitted a message to it. SSS, SSS. The purple lightning snake king shook its head, indicating that it had absorbed all its treasures. This made Wang Xian speechless. A king of a race didn't have any treasures. SSS, SSS. At this time, the purple lightning snake king stuck out its tongue at him and a message was sent to his mind. It transmitted an image of the thunder male ape. The thunder male ape was lying on a mountain peak and exuding a strong aura. You mean? You know where the lair of the thunder male ape is? Wang Xian asked the purple lightning snake king in surprise. The purple lightning snake king nodded its head and replied immediately. Oh, bring me there now. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he ordered it immediately. SSS, SSS. The purple lightning snake king responded immediately. It lowered its head and asked Wang Xian to stand on it. Wang Xian leaped onto it with a swift movement. Roar, roar. It let out a deep roar and dashed out quickly. Wang Xian took out the vitality fluid and sprinkled it on its wounds to heal its injuries rapidly. SSS, SSS. This caused the purple lightning snake king to let out an excited cheer and increase its speed. Wang Xian stood on its head and shuttled across the land rapidly. When the surrounding desolate beasts saw the purple lightning snake king, they immediately hid far away. Ha, ha, having such a powerful battle pet is quite impressive, Su Ping said. Wang Xian chuckled. With a flick of his palm, the innate spiritual treasure that looked like a huge bell appeared in his hand. Inborn spiritual treasures were extremely useful to Wang Xian as they could increase his attacking power significantly. After injecting energy into it, a stream of information immediately appeared. The bell was called the Khanate Thunder Bell. It was a powerful offensive spirit treasure. He could unleash powerful attacks such as innate thunder roar and thunderbell explosion. To Wang Xian, this was not a weak weapon. I'll refine it for now. If I have the chance, I'll sell it and exchange it for resources to improve my strength. Wang Xian thought to himself. He stood on the head of the purple thunder snake king and began refining it. The purple lightning snake king brought him through the thunderclouds quickly. The lair of the thunder male ape was not near, so they flew for half a month. This was also the reason why the speed of the purple thunder snake king was much slower than Wang Xian. SSS, 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 SSS. After half a month, the purple thunder snake king stuck its tongue out at him and sent a message. Have we arrived? Wang Xian squinted his eyes and looked at the Khanate thunder bell in front of him. He had already refined a portion of the thunder bell. He would still need another 1 or 2 months to fully refine it. He lifted his head and scanned the surroundings. Over here, there were many mountains that were bathed in the lightning. As far as the eye could see, there were endless mountains. SSS, SSS. The purple thunder snake king stared in one direction and sent a message. Wang Xian looked in the direction it was looking at, and his eyes flickered. That mountain peak was obviously very different from the surrounding mountains. The entire mountain was even more purple as it bathed in the lightning and emitted a purple glow. Wang Xian could vaguely see a huge body lying on the peak of the mountain. You can go over later. Wang Xian moved. The unbeginning sacred wings appeared on his back, and the 5 elements grindstone hovered in the air. His figure flickered, and he disappeared. Wang. In the next moment, he came to the sky above the thunder male ape lying on the mountain. A recuperative grotto heaven, Wang Xian judged as he sensed the energy coming from the mountain below. 8 barren dragon eyes. In the next moment, he turned into a divine dragon without any hesitation and attacked the thunder male ape with chains. Roar. When Wang Xian made his move, the thunder male ape, who was lying on the mountain and bathing in the lightning, opened its eyes. It moved its palm, and a lightning pillar appeared on its palm. It smashed towards Wang Xian. Purple Thunder Snake King, do it! Wang Xian shouted, and the 5 elements grindstone met the attack of the lightning pillar. Bam! The lightning pillar collided with the 5 elements grindstone and collapsed instantly. The power of the 5 elements grindstone continued sweeping towards the thunder male ape. Upon seeing this, the thunder male ape went berserk. Its eyes seemed to be overflowing with blood. Bam, bam, bam. It patted its chest forcefully, and the sound was like a drum. Bolts of lightning blasted towards the surroundings. At this moment, the purple thunder snake king charged over. A huge lightning radiance was released from its thunder horn and struck towards the thunder male ape. The purple thunder snake king was not weak. In fact, it could even suppress the thunder male ape by itself. Under such circumstances, with Wang Xian and the 5 elements grindstone, the thunder male ape did not have any strength to resist. 5 elements annihilation dragon claw. Wang Xian let out a deep roar and charged over. The 5 divine dragons on the 5 elements grindstone roared, and bolts of elemental energy blasted towards it. When the thunder male ape saw the attacks, its face was filled with shock and anger. Boom! With a wave of its arm, a lightning mountain flew over. It hugged the lightning mountain and smashed it towards Wang Xian and the rest. Bam bam! The lightning mountain was extremely sturdy. However, it was easily shattered into pieces under the attacks of Wang Xian and the rest. Kill it! Wang Xian did not show any mercy as he ordered the Purple Thunder Snake King. Roar roar! The Purple Thunder Snake King responded immediately. After being subdued, it attacked the Thunder Male Ape with all its might. The attacks of Wang Xian and the Five Elements Grindstone arrived at the same time. The Thunder Male Ape waved its arm again and smashed the lightning mountains towards them. Bam bam bam! But soon, a continuous stream of energy fell on its body. The nest of the Thunder Male Ape was here. Therefore, it could not escape even if it wanted to. The battle against the Thunder Male Ape was very easy. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.